Welcome back. Episode 20. This is our milestone.
20.
This is Journey Unknown Podcast, brought to you by Rack Attack Outdoors.
Kind of a sad day.
It is kind of a sad day. This is most likely going to be our last one.
Yep.
So, Trevor, hope you come out with a bang.
Knock
dude.
it out of the park.
Yep.
I'll cap it off for a good one.
Yeah. Either be the good reason why we're done,
Sure.
or a reason why we should have stuck with it.
All right, you've been waiting to put me on. Y'all know this is the
We saved the best
Saved
for
the best
last.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So we got Scott Foster here.
That's Willie. Dustin.
Trevor Willard.
Trevor Willard.
Trevor. I
Yeah.
like the ring to that.
Some
got a
call me
good ring.
T Willie.
T. Willie.
Willie?
Yes, Willie.
It's
T.
Willie.
There you go. Yeah.
What can I be? We'll think of it later.
Yeah, we'll think.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, today is beginning of April. It's starting to warm up around here. Everything's getting green.
Yep.
I've been doing some shed hunting. They're about this high or below the grass, I guess I should say, in the fields.
Absolutely. Unless you burn
I seen you
something
found some.
Yeah, I did. I found some good. Right there's a good one.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the hit list this year.
There gum. Yeah, that's a grizzly.
He's heavy.
That's a dandy.
He ain't.
G2's pretty long.
Yeah, he's long. If he gets some browse,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I don't care what he does. If he steps out in front of me, that's all I need.
That's
Like,
all, yeah.
I don't care what he does. That's all I need is right there.
Absolutely.
He ain't a real wide buck. Trevor Bennett was driving through a certain location last year, and he called me. He's like, "Dude, like these things are right in front of your uncle's house, and they're running down the road just trying to get up over the fence, and they never would jump." And after I found that, I'm like, I think I recognize that deer, and we zoomed in, and sure enough, I found it like a quarter mile away. But yeah, he's a dandy buck. There's a few other ones I wanted to find, but I ended up finding 10 so far. Dude, I haven't found 10 sheds in the season
That's cool.
in a Arkansas toothpicks age.
And that's a long time.
Coons
Yeah,
age.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not a shed hunter myself. I try, but
Yeah.
I am very unsuccessful.
I never go as much as I want to go, but I always have good intentions.
Me too. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this year, man, I haven't had time to do nothing between work and softball, soccer, man.
Yeah.
When you got kids, and sports, that stuff eats into it. But I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely.
Like I love
Right.
watching that. So
Yeah, mine aren't old enough yet to do that, and you've got two young ones.
Very
I mean,
young.
eventually, and you and your wife are both athletic people, so it will come.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sports are important in my opinion.
Yeah, I love them, man. I'm gonna play men's league baseball this year.
Sweet. Are you going? Is it the Elsinore League?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So whenever you see me laying in an ice bath nonstop, broke down and can't walk,
Yeah.
it's probably from baseball.
I need to find an intramural basketball team or something because that's my sport, man. Basketball's always
Yeah,
been-
I don't. Surely, I mean, they've probably got some pickup games here
I'm
and that,
sure.
but probably not an actual league, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if Bluff's got something or not, but anyway, yeah.
I don't know. I know, like, my buddy Nate Ezerneck, they play some, but I don't know if it's like a
open
church
gym?
thing or an
Oh,
open
yeah,
gym
yeah.
thing. I mean, because I got quite a few buddies that play this.
I would like to play basketball.
Probably
I
just
played
some pickup
basketball in
games.
high school. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm
That's my
terrible
favorite
then. I'll probably be
sport.
terrible now.
I like baseball too. When's the sign up for that deal? Has they already done that?
Sign up? Yeah, we already done sign up. We won't start until I think after high school ball ends.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was cool when I heard that they started that league. You know, because
kinda
we always
got big.
played men's league softball, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, like you're all a bunch of these guys, and you're like, man, I remember back in the day, throwing these fastballs.
Yeah, everybody threw 95.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered, like I haven't even really went and watched one of the games, but I've heard a lot of people talk about like there's some talented.
Yeah, there's
Guys
a
out
lot
there
of
still.
guys that are college players or just
Yeah.
actually were pretty dang good back in the day, and now they're at the old man strength. I'm hoping I'm there.
Yeah, I would embarrass myself.
That's what I'm hoping
I'd
not to do.
tear a hammy or something.
Yeah, I always pulled growing muscles when I was pitching, and like, oh, you're gonna be pitching. I'm like, cool. Like, can I play outfield too? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, it's gonna hurt.
That's the thing that sucks the most about coaching your kids is like you have, that dream of what you used to be. And so you're like, come on, like it's easy. And then you got to put yourself back in their shoes and you're like, man, like I remember when I was that age and a ball was flying at me and like the pressure of my mom and dad out there, like,
Yeah.
so you
or
got to
tell your kids how good you were, and then you like I was talking to my wife and some my sister and her little boyfriend. They're still in high school and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, like my senior year of high school, like I was, blah, 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 I was putting up these points and these boards or whatever, and then I'm like, I'm sure there's a game on YouTube somewhere, and I found one, and I was watching it, and then I was just sitting there watching it. I'm like, man, I was not as good as I thought I was. Like,
it always looks so much better in
Yeah.
your mind, and
Yeah.
you watch a playback, you're like, man, I need to humble myself a little bit.
I will say that. How old are your kids?
I've got a 19-month-old and I've got a 2-month-old.
Okay, so you haven't got.
Man.
Yeah, you haven't even got to experience that yet.
No, yeah.
Or sleep.
Whenever you.
I've been pretty fortunate. My daughter, she was fantastic. My son, however, he's getting it. I mean, he's finding the routine where we're like, all right, we're kind of able to not have a bottle every 3 hours throughout the night. But it was pretty. I was spoiled for the first one for sure.
Yeah. Is Brooke still in the service?
No, she's actually out of the National Guard now.
Okay.
She works down there at the bank at Southern Bank, so
Okay.
she's she does a lot of like online account stuff there.
Gotcha.
So.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, she was for a brief stint in the National Guard.
I knew like it'd be tough for.
Oh yeah,
especially being. I don't know. Yeah, with like somewhat civilian side and not with National Guard. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't know what she was in, if she was full Army, if it was the National Guard.
No, just National Guard.
Still pretty cool though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but like both of you guys, when you get to that age where the kids get up and they actually start making something, and like like that's the most proud I think I've ever been in my life. Everything I've done in my life, it don't mount to nothing. Like now it's time for you to shine. Now,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Outshine Dad.
No kidding. Yeah. And my daughter's showing me it's easy to do.
She's gonna be a successful young lady.
Yes.
I really think so.
She's got a lot of stuff that I wish I had at that age.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just her ability to talk to people and, like just communicate. That I was a shy kid. Like
I was too, until it became something I was interested about, or like with my buddies. Man, I'd jabber, but I was always real nervous to talk to people. And now I'd never meet a stranger. I talk all the time. But as a kid, I didn't have that in there. It took a lot of getting out of my comfort zone to be able to do that,
and confidence.
Yeah, and a lot of it was that. I was some little scrawny little freckle-faced, acneed up kid. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. You don't want to talk to me. But I always had sports, and I kind of let that kind of do my talking. And I never was like messed with in school or nothing. I always got along with pretty much everybody, and I think having that sports background in small school, like, people knew who you were, and you held your own and never had any issues. And
I'm sure, like, obviously when you went in the military, that probably like you're around your tight knit group of folks. Like, I mean, tightest of the tight.
When you jump in the shower with 100 guys naked, I've never done that, dude. You're gonna open up
allegedly.
Real quick. Yeah, allegedly. We won't go through the fine details. No, like you were forced to be open and talk and like have to answer for, you can't do second guess stuff. And I never went anywhere or done anything crazy, but it's like you were still forced to do your job and to answer for it and to answer for other people. And
gotta be a leader, right?
It took the shyness out of you. If you were shy, like, you were gonna get rode hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for you guys that did the military.
Absolutely.
It seems like the ultimate, like you said, like high school bros. I've got a lot of camaraderie, and like you ain't messing with them because that's my buddy.
Yeah.
But military guys,
It's a different kind of
a lot tighter.
And there's some guys that I don't ever talk to, but if I ever did, we'd pick right back up.
Yep.
And some of them I do talk to and still occasionally see. And it's funny how time would just get away from you. We get older. I'm 32 years old. I've been out for like 8 years. I don't want to make this about military stuff, but like life in general can get away from you quick. So like, don't forget like where you came from, what your goals are, what you're trying to do, because man, it'll flat tear you apart. And like with that, with us, with the hunting stuff, like with the podcast and the filming and things, like if I waited till I was ready to do that, I would have never even got started, like if you don't, I've always like been told like, well, life happens. And I got so irritated because I didn't want to let life happen. I wanted to make life happen. And I know there's a lot of things that are going to, like, you're going to have to roll with some of the punches, but you can either get back up and try again, or you can just lay on the ground.
I think I'm starting to figure some of that out, being a young, adult. I feel like
you've kind of thrown the wolves with two young ones. And
I feel like, like you said, life does kind of happen to a degree, but I don't think there's any world where you can't make it your own. You know what I'm saying? You definitely can shape and mold how you want it to turn out. Obviously, like I said, there's still bills that got to get paid. There's things that you still got to do responsibilities wise, but just because somebody says you got to do it this way, you got to have this, everything fit in this perfect box.
Yeah. Like we're taught all through school. Like I was listening to MFJJ today, and they were talking about like how the school is meant to mold you to be just followers.
Factory worker.
Yeah, factory workers, instead of like working on your own and teaching you things that are truly life valuable lessons. And then you have to get out and go to college and have all this accrued debt for a job that I make more than what a lot of college people do around here.
Yeah.
And I went to 1 year of college, and I went in the Marine Corps. That probably helped get my job, but like, you don't have to listen to everybody else.
No.
I pride myself on being different. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to have my own path, and that leads you down good, bad, and ugly. Like, it's up to you to figure out where you go from there, and like reshape things whenever they're like getting out of form.
Yeah.
And relying on God to have your back, because if you don't, like, you're gonna lose complete sight.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, money's a big thing that
Big
everybody
factor.
goes through, I think. But like, to have faith, the Bible says, have faith size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. And it's like, I was thinking the other day, I was like, like, what would happen if I was at a gas pump and all of a sudden my wife's like, hey, we ain't got no money in the thing, and I'm stranded here at the gas pump. Like, to have the faith to be like, well, somebody's fixing to come by at any moment, give me $20, to get me home. I don't know who it is,
3
but
hours
I'm
a
waiting.
day
Like just to have that
Yeah.
faith, like, God will take care of me. He ain't gonna leave me here,
Yeah.
Right.
I saw the other day we had the daddy-daughter dance in the junior high, and I should have took a picture or something, but they had scriptures on the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's cool that they actually are bringing that back
Exactly.
into schools. That's one
Absolutely.
thing that we're talking about, school systems and how they're to mold you into this direction only. I'm glad that some of that stuff's being woken up and like, hey, it's kind of failing.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think too, like, I know that we still have some big schools around the area, but we both went to Greenville, which is a small, tiny school.
Small school.
There's some value in that. We
There
know
is.
each other. We were, people. I knew kids from, whenever I was a senior all the way down to freshman class, even beyond that, and I felt like having teachers that I was pretty personable with. It was like they were going to try to help you out, to their best degree. I felt like having that kind of small school, there wasn't a whole lot of outside agendas being put in. Let's put it that way. Not
When
to
you couldn't get in trouble because they would literally call your parents or go to their house.
Yeah, or give you spankings. I mean,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh,
I
dude.
went to college and I told kids that we got paddles, and they were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What
what?
school did you go to?
Yeah.
And I was like, an old country school pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
No, I love getting out because there is a small town mindset, and it can flood you with, this is the only way you're going to know.
oh yeah.
It's good to get out and see that not everybody is right, not everybody's wrong.
Right.
And to get some different cultures, different races, different backgrounds, all kinds of things. Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
And I love traveling. And that's part of the reason I love traveling. Like I said, I never meet a stranger. Always meeting different people and just be like, hey man, like, tell me your story. Or even if I don't want to listen to it, sometimes I walk in with RBF. You know what it is.
Yeah.
And then I'll hear somebody's full-on story, and grandma died, and cousin slept with other cousin, and I got drunk Saturday, and I lost a tire running down the road. I'm like, man, I didn't ask you to tell me that. But you know what? Maybe that's what I'm here for, to listen to people's stories.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty hard to listen to negative people a lot.
Yeah.
Like, but I always try to flip it on them.
Yeah.
Like, try to throw a thankful in there for them. And then they're like,
You're
what?
good about positivity.
Well, that's what was I saying? Oh yeah, the other day I got out of the car to pump gas.
Were you out of money?
No, I looked at it though.
I was yesterday after I fueled up.
I know. I looked at the price. I'm like, golly. I was like, thank you, God, for giving me a car to put gas in.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah. I drive a little Hyundai, little red thing, and it's
Dude,
it's pretty
gonna sell
awesome
it?
on gas now. But I got it for a pretty good deal during
Yeah.
COVID. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
I'm keeping on that thing till I run the tires.
Man,
off it.
so I got my little tracker, and it's got a brake line needs replaced, and I need to change oil in the diesel, and the Yukon I'm trying to sell, and the bike. I've been dodging deer left and right on the way to work in the mornings. I'm like, might be pushing my luck right now because I'm usually running behind,
Yeah.
and I don't want to drive speed limit even in the mornings. In the evening time when it's not been raining, man, it's beautiful out. I'd love to have the wind in my non-existent hair and just flapping in the wind, freedom after going to work.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get too awful long, like, I really didn't introduce you.
Yeah,
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
No, my name is.
We've already been talking
Hey,
for
listen,
an hour.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
This is Trevor, guys. Our last podcast, by the way. And,
yeah, sad one, but
Yeah.
hey, we'll make it worth your while.
yeah, young blood knows best.
That's me. No, my name is Trevor Willard. I'm a 25-year-old, just your average country boy living in Wayne County. Pretty much, I've lived here my whole life. I've hunted and fished my whole life. Been pretty much an avid outdoorsman from the time I could hold a gun. I pretty much thought this was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And
Yeah.
I've
I've been around you for almost your whole life.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of like at a distance, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's been pretty cool, but we've known each other, through people, through school, through sports, whatever, and yeah, I've got a job at the Corps of Engineers at Wapapo, so I work there at the lake. Kind of like your previous.
Oh yeah, you work
Yeah,
with Eric. Eric Limanen
Yeah.
from what, 2 podcasts ago?
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
podcasts.
that's
Tupac.
cool. Tupac.
Oh,
Two Chains. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric was fun. I like Eric.
Yeah.
I've like I said, whenever I stepped in the doors there, he'd kind of been somewhat of a mentor for me. So I did, obviously I didn't really know him from Adam, but he was also a Greenville native himself.
Yeah.
But I got a wife and 2 kids, like 2 under 2, and we still live in Williamsville. I've lived there my whole life, haven't left, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just a tiny town of about 350 people.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And
Give or take.
yeah. But I'm surrounded by some of the best national forests around, and
Yep.
I get all the public access I can. I work for the Corps, so I get to see some pretty neat stuff and be outside all day. Man, I love my life.
That's
cool.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely got your head on straight for being. You said you're 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that's whenever I got out. I think I was 25. Excuse me. And I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
No idea. I was in a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Still am.
Yeah.
I think your whirlwind never stops whirling. You just figure out how to lasso it like what's that West movie?
Well,
Wild
where
West.
they lasso tornadoes?
Yeah. What's that movie?
I don't.
Gone with the Wind
I'm not really sure on
I
that.
don't know.
with Paul Bunyan.
You better not ask me. I'm not
Dang, this was
fluent
like your
in my
time.
Western movies.
My time.
I don't know. It's like one of them goofy movies from late '90s. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. it's
anyway,
not
we'll
clicking.
forget I had that analogy.
Hey.
But yeah, no,
But I
it's-
do know rope and tornadoes.
Yeah, it's
So-
good times. What we do here in Kansas.
What is that? Chris Ledoux sings that song.
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know what movie I'm trying to tell you about.
Time.
Chris Ledoux.
This Cowboys hat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I sang it to you the other day while we were going to sleep on the armchair.
Yeah.
Did you watch the podcast with the musician and everybody?
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, that's a good
that's a
one.
lot of people's favorites.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll plug that in. That was Hannah Harper's uncle.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so Willie
Hey,
was here.
maybe the next American Idol.
Absolutely. Yeah. If she doesn't, she should.
Oh, absolutely.
She's
I think she's moving like mountains.
yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
And that's what I like about her is like from what I've seen. Like I don't follow her out, watch her on every episode, but like what I've seen, man, she's putting out a good,
Yeah. I think she
Story.
keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, I know she puts out a very positive Christian
Yes.
message, and
Yeah.
she's not afraid to say anything about it, which is
Exactly.
pretty sweet because,
It's what this world
This
needs.
is what we need. We need bold and sometimes ugly.
oh, yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of people stand up for a lot less, and then
Yeah.
shouldn't be hard to stand up for your Christian
Yeah.
faith. You know
No.
what I mean?
Oh.
Her uncle Bobby, he can play the fiddle now.
Yeah, he's cool.
I love that dude. He's a
You know my
You can
cousin, Cade Wyatt, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And Cade
I
played
didn't know you
picked
guys
guitar.
was related.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty close cousin of mine.
Really?
Yep. Tommy White. Man, I don't know. He's probably third cousin or something.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah. Small
maybe,
world.
maybe
Yeah.
sixth. We'll never know. He's family.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. But yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, it's cool. You're 25 and you're thinking like that already. Cause like I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm fixing to be 36 April 12th.
Oh, dude. Cool.
So, but like it was like, it took me to about 31, 32 to kind of really start shaping up and
Yeah.
like being like, what do I really, like,
Yeah, that's where I'm
what's
at.
life about? Like, cause like there for the longest time, like it was just weekend. You're looking for the weekend,
Yeah.
work, weekend, work, weekend. And it just like time flies by. And then finally,
I'm still like that sometimes.
well,
I am too, but
it's a natural thing.
a little more productive than what I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to look at weeks and turn them into months, and then like try to like compile that and
Yeah.
try to make something of it, and make sure at the end of that month I've got something done. Like not just live it up on the
Yeah.
weekends. So-
Goals, right? Goals.
but still make sure I have fun.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about having a good time and like utilizing what you're working for, but
Sure.
try to be within your means.
Yeah.
Today it's a struggle to be within your means because you got to really slow down, and I hate doing stuff and have to take it back a notch, but unfortunately, just the way times are.
Yeah, I feel like that's my mindset too. Is I'm a very much all or nothing kind of guy.
I am
so
too.
I
Yep.
Do
kind
you have
of
ADHD?
maybe undiagnosed maybe.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Here's a good therapy session.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is therapy, man. Lay it on the table.
Yeah, I get all or nothing about a lot of things. So whenever it comes to a hobby, which granted, like hunting and stuff I'm never gonna stop that, But there's a lot of times
Yeah, I
I get
can't do
in
that.
so far into something, I'm like, kind of like get that perfectionist mindset to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, until I get to the point where I'm like totally burnt out. I'm like, I don't want to do anything with this anymore.
Dude,
I'm
that's
done.
been the story. Like you say that, like
Yeah.
it clicks a bell in my
Yeah.
head. That's how I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I guess the only two things I really stuck with was anything with like the hunting media and like lifting. That's the two things that it seems like it. Now, this does frustrate me sometimes because it's all the time. Like the other day, my computer ran out of space again. I'm like, dadgummit. I'm trying to get podcasts out. Like I said, it takes 24 hours to upload. If I was only running one camera, it'd be better. If I wasn't running any cameras, it'd be minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do the best I can, even though we're not getting much in return other than some good graces from people, which is awesome. I appreciate I appreciate everybody that's reached out to us, and so far it's been positive, you know. But those two things like really helped shape me, you know. And like I fasted today for most of the day. I wanted to go all day, but I'm like, dadgummit, I'm sore. I done chest last night, and I hate not eating after a big muscle group. And I failed, but at the same time, I lasted longer than any other time I've lasted. I stopped eating at like 10 o'clock last night. I didn't eat till 4:30 this afternoon.
Is this your first day doing it?
Yeah, it's my only day too.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm saying,
that's
like,
my
you
first day.
can't judge yourself by doing that because, man, like,
Yeah.
I remember when I first started the fasting thing, dude, making it past 9 o'clock in the morning was
Yeah.
hard.
And I
Because
thought
it's
about you all
programmed.
day.
Are you doing intermittent fasting, or is it like?
Oh
full day,
no,
like one
I
meal a
do.
day?
I eat all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
He's got the
Today,
metabolism.
today was
Yeah,
just a
that's
day. I was so bloated last night. Like I was gassy and just bloated like crazy. I'm like, man, I had a bunch of donuts yesterday. Somebody from work brought in a bunch of donuts, and I can't help myself. I'm very weak minded when it comes to that. So my diet was crap. And then I went and lifted, and then I don't know, between the donuts and the pre workout, I think I just turned into this like snozberries, tastes like snowberries, blueberry, whatever it is, off Wizard of Oz. I was like her bouncing around the walls, and
I used to eat
today, man, I'm like, dude, don't eat. So I didn't pack breakfast like out of habit. I packed lunch. I had a good lunch. It was any of those like oven chicken wings or chicken legs, like some rice and some green beans. Like it was good. But man, if I take that with me, I'm going to eat it. So I got on lunch. I didn't even open the fridge. I got a bottle of water. I had a Red Bull. Supposed to be sugar free. I ended up not being, so I failed already on the sugar. And then I had that, and I just went back to work and just listened to hunting podcasts all day.
Yeah.
And just stayed busy, and it was good. And then once we got the kids from school, or I did, they wanted pizza, and I did too.
Yeah,
And I ate mine. I had some of Archer's. I ate Oakley's. Because I know once we do this, like I usually don't get to eat until 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Yep.
So I feel good. I'm glad I've done it. Just little steps to kind of like say get your mind right, and that's, man, the mindset is everything.
Yeah,
know.
fitness is a journey, right? I mean,
It is a journey.
It's not, and then I was telling Dustin this earlier. Like, I was somebody that was super into fitness, probably for all the wrong reasons, though, right? Like
not
maybe
really.
maybe not. I was probably more into it because I felt like I got to a point where I really looked good the way I wanted to.
Oh, you were jacked.
And-
You're still built.
Yeah, I got the foundation there.
You're probably
right?
strong as a freaking ox too.
Some days I feel like it. Some days I feel like
I'm not.
like a toothpick. but no, I got the foundation there, and I felt like I kind of started getting a lot of like attention from it, which I was like, this is awesome. Because when I was in high school, I wasn't built. I was just kind of like a average Joe, right? And then I felt like I kind of was doing things because I felt like I had a standard I needed to uphold. Like, oh, you're the fitness guy. You're the, I was in college.
Yeah.
And I felt like, and people were like, you're like one of the biggest guys here. And I mean, I'm in a college. I'm not in Greenville High School anymore.
Right.
Like, wow, I need to really keep this
I've
going.
never had that problem.
Well, let me tell you this. I got burnt out. I went all
Yeah.
in. And then, life did start hitting me a little bit. I kind of took a step back, and then I start taking further steps away. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I wanted to uphold the same level of like fitness that I did have, because again, it was kind of one of those things where it was maybe a little unhealthy for my mental state too.
Yep.
But I've steered myself back to a direction where I'm like, okay, here's my outlook. I need to be doing this for my personal health. So whenever
and
I'm
your
playing with
kids
my
and your
kids,
wife
yeah,
and-
absolutely. She wants to be more on the fitness side of things too.
Well, yeah, just coming out of the National Guard,
Yeah,
and I think honestly, I think 25 is maybe that age, because I had the same issue. You had the same issue about that time frame. Like I knew you when I was in college, so you were probably 22 to 24, 25, and you were built. Kind of went away from it. Whenever I got out of the Marine Corps, I tried to lift, and I never could get with it. I couldn't gain weight, and you're kind of at that
problem.
No, but like you'd be jacked in no time. But you're at the same age where just life just seems to kind of hit you. It kind of puts your brakes on,
Yeah, sure.
And it's easy to step away. And I no doubt, I think you'll get back into it. You know, and if you don't want to, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I know it's in you. You know,
Yeah.
you've always been a stud athlete. You've always been, you know, in the lifting and just a good shoulder headed young man. And now you are a man. But you know, like I think it's a time in your life.
Yeah,
really.
Well, I'll go back to, I guess, where I credit that my dad.
I'll
My
say
dad,
I'd love your dad, man. He's awesome.
And I honestly,
And
he's
your
more
mom,
like,
they've always been just super nice.
Yeah, he's been more like a brother to me than a dad. Honestly,
He has
in
been.
ways.
Like,
He's
like
so
the
cool.
mischief and the good.
Yeah, right. So my dad's pretty young. So like he's pretty, like a lot of people, they're like, oh, can your brother come over with you? I'm like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I'm like,
He
yeah.
just had a birthday not long ago.
Yeah, he's 45.
45.
Yeah, which I'm 25. So I mean, put
20
two,
yeah.
So, but
20 years?
so he was a young parent too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's young enough too, where it's like he got to do all the things that I wanted to do, and he was still in good shape. Which he works out all the time still too.
Yeah.
But like anything to do with outdoors, hunting, fishing, he taught me all that stuff. And
Yeah.
we were talking about it a little bit before the podcast. Like I'm kind of trying to come to him now and like, hey, have you heard about this? Hey, have you tried this when you're hunting? He's like,
Yeah.
And sometimes he takes well to it. Sometimes he's like, oh no, I've never tried that before. And sometimes he's like, oh, that's never going to work. Like I've done this my
That's
whole
how I
life this
felt
way.
about
I'm
saddle
like,
hunting until I got in the saddle.
oh, that's saddle hunting has changed.
Have you got into that
Oh,
too?
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
Eric was talking about it. Swilly's still on the hanging bang set, but
I
nothing
actually, my boss, I still got to pay him, but he actually sold me his old saddle.
oh no kidding.
So, yeah.
What is it?
He told us
Is it tethered?
he's
or-
tethered.
got that, I think.
Oh,
Or no,
it's
no,
the
no,
latitude?
no. He's got the Phantom. Am I right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, the
I'm not.
That
I'm
or the
not really
Mantis.
I'm not up on that, but
Yeah.
I know he went and he bought like an upgraded one that fit his hips better. He said,
Yeah.
because that was my biggest
hip
thing. Is when,
pinches.
Because I told him to look at mine if he wanted to use it, and I wonder if he got
Is this a
that's the
double
Method 2.
It's two
They
panel
just,
system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice. I got bony hips, and my back kills me.
Yeah.
It hurts all the time. And that thing, man, instead of being able to sit for 2 or 3 hours and getting fiddly, like 3 and 4 hours became a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, and I run a small platform. You guys have bigger feet than me, but like that thing's light. Like it's 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Carbon sticks.
Yeah,
like
those sticks are
they
sick.
cost a little bit, but man,
They're really not that bad
No,
compared
they're
to
not.
like some of the tethered one sticks.
Yeah.
Dude, those things. Oh my god. I
yeah,
couldn't
man, that
imagine.
one sticking like it's like the cost of 3 sticks.
yeah.
So sorry, I know we're kind of going
Dude, we go off-
everywhere right now.
I'm fresh
Like,
off of a Red Bull. Like I'm
Yeah, I'm sitting
Yeah.
here drinking the rain right
Yeah,
now,
them
so I'm
things are
jacked.
sweet.
Yeah, I know. I have a caffeine problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like my suppressant for like actually drinking real soda. So it's like I get one of these at least a couple times a week, and my wife's like, your heart's gonna stop one day. I'm like,
Better
maybe.
than one a day.
Yeah.
I drink coffee in the mornings. And
Yeah, I
other
do
times-
that too, so.
And then if I have a Red, I've tried to stop drinking energy drinks because I
I'm
usually
telling on myself bad right
I
now.
usually go to the gym in the evenings.
Yeah.
So then it's like I gotta have a scoop pre-workout. I gotta have
Oh,
beta
dude.
alanine.
No, I
'Cause
think that's what screwed me. I
Yes.
really do. I was
Yeah,
taking
I
2
didn't
scoops
used to
and then
take it.
Yeah. Then I'm like, oh, I have to have it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So
Even-
I'd take pre-workout in the morning before I go to the gym, and then I'll get out of the gym. I do make sure I drink like at least 4 bottles of water between that time and I get
Yeah,
to work.
yeah.
But then I'll get coffee because everybody's got coffee at
Yep.
work, so
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
drink me a cup or 2 of coffee and.
Yeah.
You know, even throughout the day, heck, somebody makes coffee. I'm gonna get me a
I
cup
will
of coffee.
too.
You know,
But like I think if you're drinking plenty of water, like it helps flush it out. You know, I take
sure.
I take like a vitamin. I take a bunch of pills and stuff, but they're gonna pill
I haven't
everything.
gotten
But
there yet.
like, but vitamin B complex makes
Yeah.
my piss neon green.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, how fast can I get it clear? You know, I'm peeing off the loader today. I'm like, Dad, gum, like the Grinch just took a pee off this thing. But I usually will drink a gallon a day or better.
Yeah.
You know, today was a little bit less. Not eating. Like my body was just like, hey, what are you doing? Like you're hungry, and I just wasn't
Yep.
eating, but
yeah, but yeah, that caffeine is a addiction of mine.
here's one for you talking about hunting and peeing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's get
At
down
the
this
Do
same
road.
time.
you pee out of your stand?
Yes, absolutely. I do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now-
I used to
Used to
carry
not.
bottles with me.
Now the number 2, I'm not brave enough to try that one.
No, it'd be hard. Now for the 2-panel saddle,
Yeah, I know. Maybe.
it might could work.
Hey.
You know, like stand up, get a little bit loose around the jeans.
I've got a funny story about that, but I'm not going to tell it because he's not here. Old Kyle Nelson, he has a funny story about that one.
Yeah.
Listen,
If he ever's on,
We need to get him on here.
I'll
know.
tell you, I have a grandfather.
Well, we
who's-
would if we were doing more podcasts. I mean, unfortunately.
exactly. Yeah.
I have a
So-
grandpa that's he's an avid hunter, and he will tell you every possible way to how you can take a crap out of a stand. I
Yeah.
mean, he's done it. He's
No,
done every.
Like your summits, you could kind of get away with.
Yeah.
You can squat down and
So, how many of you in here have ever had your overalls and you're hunting? You go to take a poop and you ever pooped on a strap?
Oh,
yeah, or on your boot.
because you forget to pull the straps up.
Yeah.
You know,
Man, sometimes I gross myself out in the woods.
this year,
Yeah.
Wiping with leaves, and
Yeah.
there's a dry one, just like single ply John Wayne toilet paper. Ain't took no crap from nobody.
you ever wiped with pine cones?
No.
Nope. I usually try to avoid those.
Yeah. I find me a good limber sycamore leaf. One of
There
them
you go.
big
Now,
suckers.
yeah, or a cedar tree. I'll grab one of those suckers.
What are those? What are those leaves? Mullein. You ever seen them?
Was that with the soft?
Yeah, it look like.
Oh,
they look
yeah,
soft.
yeah.
They got like little
Like lamb's
pimples
ear?
on them or
Is that-
something.
Yeah, they're like fiberglass leaves.
Oh, yeah.
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 You don't
Yeah.
want to wipe with
No,
those.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say you can smoke it and it's good for your lungs.
Hey, yes. I won't say his name, but somebody we know very well.
John.
Jingerhanger Smith, John Jacob. But yeah, I think that's what it is. And it like you smoke it and it like helps bring out your
clears.
cough, and like if you're nasally and congested, it sounds a little oxymoron.
I always thought it
but
was,
very
like, I'm
cold.
like, how can smoking anything? But I don't think it means like smoking it all the time like
Right.
a cigarette.
No, yeah.
It means like
It's got
inhaling
some
once
kinda,
and then.
like natural mint thing to it, and I've tried it one time just to be like, oh yeah, like what does it do? Because my parents had a cough, and hey dude, smoke this instead of cigarettes for a minute, and like it just opens up your airways. I don't know, I understand it. But
We was
this
riding around on my buddy's farm
Yeah.
one time, and he had a bunch of mullein growing out there. We stopped there, and he's like, "Man," because I was telling him the same thing. I said, "Yeah, I heard people smoke that," and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I do it all the time." He's like, "You want to smoke some?" I was like, "I don't know." So he goes out there, finds a dried up leaf. He gets in the back of his truck, grabs a soda can, makes a makeshift bong out of it. We're out there on his farm, like smoking. I'm like, dude, this feels like we're doing something illegal
Yeah.
here.
Say, are you sure that was mullein or is he
watch it
trying
down
to
with
get
these mushrooms.
Yeah. I found these under a cow pie. Oh, wow. We're going everywhere.
Man, that's how it works.
Yeah.
How'd your fall season go?
It was not bad, honestly. I had it set up for one of the best seasons, but I made a boo-boo. So I took a terrible shot when I shouldn't have. Day before rifle season, I was hunting, and it was hot. I don't know if you hunted
Yeah,
it.
dude,
It was
it's
stupid
been
hot.
hot the last few
I
years.
know. But it was bad, and I thought to myself, I'm like, this is gonna be a 9:30 and I'm out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was hunting in a spot that my cousin sent me a pin. He's like, man, because he's like, I've had 2 opportunities at a couple 130s, and I've not been able to fling an arrow at either one of them. Maybe you can get in there and get one of them. And I was like, well, I appreciate you sending me a pin. You know.
No kidding. Is that the same one he sent me? I want to check.
Yeah, sure.
Check and
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, we'll compare. Yeah. No, anyways, so I got in there and it was pitch black dark. I'm like looking at this pin. I'm like, I'm in the middle of this bottom. I'm like, I don't like this because I'm like, it's just I need some topography. So I'm like looking. I know there's a hillside right up just the way, a couple 100 yards. So I'm walking straight to that hillside.
You could have bring that in a little closer too.
Oh yeah, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Anyways, yeah, probably couldn't hear me at all. But
I
anyways.
can hear you, but it sounds way better. When
Yeah, absolutely. I can hear myself too. So, anyways, no. So I found the hillside there, and I kind of set up on what I imagine was a bench I could find on my topo lines, and I set up there for probably an hour and a half, and I didn't climb very high at all because I just was like, you know what, I'm going to sit here, but I really am not going to commit to this spot until it gets daylight.
you wanna
yeah,
move.
yeah. So that's the beauty of a run and gun
Yeah,
setup
like
like
8
that.
o'clock when it's dead, you can hop down and
Yeah.
go somewhere else.
So that's what I did. I set up, and it was about 8 o'clock, and I got down. I took a stroll for about 200 yards, and I could see down into that creek bottom pretty good. Had a pretty good vantage point. I didn't really expect to shoot anything. I was just like, you know what? If I see some deer, even if it's across the valley, like tomorrow's rifle season, I might come back in here,
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up there, and I kind of got myself in a pretty good position because I hunt on a 1-stick. I do. I have a whole the platform as a topper or
Okay.
everything. So I do the 1-stick setup.
What's
And,
it by?
It's EWO, Eastern Woodsman Outdoors.
I have heard of them.
Dude, the best.
It's a little private company, isn't it?
Yeah. When it
Yeah.
comes to like 1-sticking, they're the bomb. They're the
Yeah.
bomb. And
We'll have to get in that in a minute.
Yeah,
how you do that.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
so
cool.
so anyways, I'm sitting up in the edge of this post oak, and I'm kind of leaning up against the pine tree there. I know I'm getting way in the details. It's just how I tell my story.
Hey, that's your story.
Yeah.
You tell it.
No,
Yeah.
so anyways, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I seen a doe took off. I literally just got set up. I see a doe take off. I'm like, crap. I'm like, well, at least I know there's some deer right here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and it wasn't maybe 30 minutes later, I could hear something moving, and I'm sitting up in my saddle. I don't know, you guys, I get kind of finicky. I have to figure out the
Yes.
perfect set,
Yeah.
And I'm just in the midst of like figuring out, oh, this is comfortable, and then they're coming. I'm like, oh, I got to turn around and get my bow and, sit there and
It's always in an awkward position. I'm like
Yes.
doing this, and I'm trying to run the camera, and
yeah.
Doe's
So
like, "What are you doing?"
yeah, here she comes, right? And she's like 15 yards. I'm like, all right, sweet. And then here comes another one, and then another one. And that last one, she's just panting like, I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
here we go,
Oh, yeah.
And I could hear her. Just, brr, brr. I'm like, dude, this is, and it's like 75 degrees, and I'm like sweating my butt off.
Yeah, like
I'm
she hot or she got something chasing.
Yeah,
her?
exactly. I could have believed both, right?
Yeah.
Well, here he comes, and I'm like, all right. I drew back, had the perfect opportunity. Like, it was not even it was fast, but it wasn't that fast.
Yeah.
But sure enough, right where he stopped, there was just like a little maple sapling, like just big enough around that, like it covered his whole vital V right there. And I'm like, oh my God. And he had his neck sticking out right here like this, right? I'm like, I'm shooting a single bevel broadhead. I'm shooting close. It's like right around 500 grains
Yeah.
up front. I'm like,
You can get through it easy.
yeah, I'm like, I should be able to tuck this right here.
Yeah.
Well, and sure enough, it wasn't even like he was just staring, looking at them does. He just like did one of those numbers, I'm like, gosh, dang it. And I took a terrible shot. I really did. I punched it right here, and I think it just clean went through. I really do.
I hit that brisket.
Yeah.
Man, like they'll be like, "What bit me?"
Yeah. He took off. He didn't really he didn't do the whole mule kick. He didn't have the face running in the ground kind of.
Yeah.
He was just gone. I found a little blood. He broke half my arrow off. Like, it was just it was a terrible thing. It was one of those things that was like a bonehead movement where I'm like, if I would just, even if he would have ran off, I wouldn't have felt so bad. I mean, we actually got a guy who has a drone, and we went out there that night to look for him. So at least I felt like I did my due diligence.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to try in case he went and bedded up or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
and unfortunately, there was like 25-mile-an-hour winds, and it was hot, and I'm like, I don't know how well this drone's going to go because everything was lit up like a Christmas
right.
tree.
You almost have to be dead to get a little less.
Yeah,
heat, probably.
yeah, I know. Yeah, everything was white, and I'm like, he's like, this is actually terrible conditions. I'm like, if you don't want to fly this drone, don't fly it.
Yeah.
But I need to see, so we tried, but then I ended up killing a decent little 9-pointer on that Monday after rifle season opened.
Okay.
So,
I remember you killing something.
yeah, it wasn't, but maybe like a 115 maybe, you
Hey.
know.
Hey.
But I was trying to get my wife to shoot it, but she was like, I just can't get on him. Like, I'm sitting there with my crosshairs on him. He's just like looking. I knew my thermals was pulling down in the bottom, and I'm like, are you sure you can't shoot him? She's like, no. She's like, you better go shoot him. I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, I kind of stepped back for a second. I'm like, do I want to shoot this? I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's the memory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, elaborate story. I know. She killed one buck. I had a doe early in the season that I got. So yeah,
You didn't eat tag soup.
yeah, that's right.
That's a plus.
Boy, that story. I mean, I think everybody been there.
I've shot them there, and I've stuck them with light arrows and go in about this far, and they're probably kicked for many years. But
Yeah,
that feeling sucks.
yeah, I gotta hope that deer is gonna make it and be a 150 or whatever. Hopefully,
yeah,
I don't know about with the dynamic of the hunting community we have around this area.
yeah,
It's kind of hard to grow 150s around here sometimes. Unfortunately, nobody really thinks about that.
no,
And I can't blame him. You know, I mean, like I shot a 115. You know, he could have been a 150.
yeah,
But I just feel like in the area we live, it's just kind of one of those things where it's deer management is a little taken for granted. I feel like
it
that
is.
people don't
It's
really.
not on the forefront. You know, they'll complain about not having deer, but
Yeah.
then shoot anything and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can't kill a 150 if you're not letting 130s go, or I'm not gonna let a 130 go.
No,
especially if I
no.
know if it's of age. And for me, like I've said before, like around here, if it's 3 years old or older, I'm probably gonna shoot at it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not at the point yet where I've killed enough of them to be
That's
like,
That's how I feel. I mean, especially with my bow, right? Like,
yeah.
with my bow, it's been I've killed one decent, like 120 with my bow, and I've seen several big deer when I'm bow hunting. I feel like every time I have a bow in my hand, it's like, yeah, that's when I'm going to see this monster buck at about 65, 70 yards through the timber, right? But yeah, no, it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even with the hunting pressure we have, we're pretty fortunate because I've seen some monsters.
We do have some big deer around.
Yeah. So
and as pressured as it is, and as many poachers and deer drives and all this stuff that is completely against them, they still manage to sneak through the cracks and make it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big deer killed, but a lot of them make it.
yeah, and I know we're on this topic, and I don't want to get off of it. I felt like there's one question I had to ask, and this is going to be controversial. But how do you feel about deer drives?
I hate them.
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely hate them.
Let me rephrase that.
Because a lot of the people that I know that are doing them around here, they will shoot anything and everything and won't tag them. and they got bullets flying over their heads.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
unsafe.
you're tagging
man.
your animals, that's one thing, but I know too many of them that are doing deer drives and bragging about how many they're killing. The same people I've already known killing turkeys right now.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
Yep.
And yeah, and again, no names. Just
No, I won't mention
yeah,
names, but like it aggravates me. And the thing is, like they'll call me or text me like, man, we're sitting on the edge of your property doing all these deer drives, and I think they do it just because they know that I'm so serious about it. It's a joke to them.
Oh yeah,
that, I can put all this effort and time in and let deer pass and walk, and
Well,
they just go in and shoot anything and everything. And I find deer all the time dead on the property lines.
I feel like they kind of treat it as a renewable resource. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
deer populations ebb and flow, right? They
Yeah,
go
we have
up.
we have to kill deer.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
we do.
But I feel like if you want quality, you're going to have to take a step back and humble yourself to in respect for the animal.
Yeah, I'm the guy that bow hunts during rifle season.
Yeah.
It's not about killing.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to be able to tell some cool story
Sure.
about how it happened.
Right.
Instead of just going out and saving my buck tag for the bigger one that I want to shoot, not the one I already shot.
Right.
But to play the devil's advocate sometimes too, like there's a lot of people out there that don't view deer hunt. They view deer hunting like you view turkey hunting.
Right.
That's a chance for them to get out with their family.
Yeah.
And to see how many deer they can kill and
Right,
stuff
but
like
even
that.
though
So
I still don't go out and whack turkeys,
Yeah.
I could go hunt turkeys right now. It'd be easy.
Yeah, right.
They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know.
But there's a reason why they come in. It's conservation. We've had meetings with conservation, and they say they intentionally make the season at the end of their breeding cycle to make it harder because everything's against a turkey.
Yeah, and with that too, I mean, we can get in the weeds about turkeys, but some of that too, if you really look at the statistics on gobbling, I don't know if you've
down.
Dude, well, let me tell you, if you look into like the Mike Chamberlain, he does stuff with like in Alabama, he does all these studies and whatnot, University of Auburn, I believe.
Yeah.
But if you really look at like time frames of gobbling, like peak, our season comes in when gobbling peak hits, right? And it's all in the demeanor of like when hens are bred and they're leaving their gobblers.
They're trying to get back.
Yeah,
to,
right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of frustrating because we can hear turkeys gobbling right now. I've been hearing them for weeks, right?
Yeah.
But they still would be hard to kill on the ground. Like they're gobbling on the roost and they might gobble a little on the ground, but they've got like 5-10 hens with them. So you got to be in their
pecking order established.
Yeah, you got to be in their bubble in order to kill them right now. Now, whenever the hens are bred and they're leaving, going back to their nests and sitting on them, that gobbler gets lonely 8:30, 9 o'clock. He's pretty easy to kill.
Yeah. Well, especially there's no other hunting pressure besides the 15 guys that's out running the roads killing them.
Yeah.
Instead of thousands of people out running and killing them.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Going back to that, I don't want to crap on deer drives because I think there's a place
I've done
for
them.
them. Yeah, me too.
I've done them. I don't anymore, and I won't. But
I think my biggest frustration with it, I understand the culture around
it's
here.
the culture.
But my biggest frustration, I think, is hunter ethics.
Yes,
because
100%.
because there's too many people. In my opinion, my family, we don't have a whole bunch of ground to hunt private, right? So we hunt public 99% of the time, and when we're doing that, like. It don't matter that there's a truck. We park our truck pretty visibly, try to be like, hey, like even to the point where we're angling our truck.
I'll say where you're going in.
Like, yeah, exactly. Or if we see somebody, we're like, hey, are you hunting here? I'm hunting here.
I will always go a different direction if I
Right.
run into somebody.
But it don't matter. If they're going to drive past you and they're going to be like, hey, we're going to drive deer this way. And it's like, and they might even be like, hey, you get a shot at one, you shoot it. And it's like, that's not how I didn't come out here to do that, right? I came out here to sit. Came out here to look and wait, for a deer to come up and know that my tactic worked, not just going and yelling and hooping and hollering and get them to.
Or you watch them shoot them off your field opening morning like last year.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I was frustrated.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah.
It's aggravating, especially like it's rifle season. Like there's people hunting. There was somebody up there. One of my dad's buddies was up there hunting, and across the road I had my buddy from Wisconsin, and I was there. Like they didn't care.
And they pull the same crap, man. They're like, I didn't know this was a property line.
Everybody knows where my property's at.
Yeah.
Like it's my family property. It's not like it's a hidden secret.
No,
it's just have some respect for people.
Yeah.
I get it. Like deer drive is legal. Nothing I
Yes.
can do about it. And if you're tagging your deer and you're doing it and you're trying to be respectful of other hunters, have at it.
Like you said, tag your deer. You're one and done, or how whatever. It's like that's great. I feel like there is a place for that. I really do. But I think you also need to respect everybody else out in the woods for
100%.
safety too,
Yep.
for safety.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that one out there because I feel like for our area specifically, it's kind of like it's like a whatever, people are going to do what they want to do, and they're still going to do it regardless. But I feel like we need to at least address the fact that hunter ethics is important.
Well, I think there should be a certain amount of number of people you can have in one drive, not 30 people lined up, covering just all this acreage, basically blowing deer out of any spot that people are hunting. And some people are like us and put in the time and effort and want to go after a certain caliber of deer or their first deer, or they want meat, and then next thing you know, it's all blown by and it's dead for a few days.
Yeah.
In a rut, it might come back, but it's like, I don't know. I don't love the deer drives.
No, I don't either.
It is legal, so I mean, just if you're doing it, just please be respectful. It's really all I have to ask.
Or even if you could wait till like the last, that'd be awesome. I'd be fine with that. If you'd be like,
hey, you talking about the warm weather the last 2 years, day 1, day 2, deer drives immediately.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, come on, let somebody have a chance.
Yeah, you'd be out there in shorts and a t-shirt. I almost have to be wading through briars.
I wouldn't want to be walking.
I don't know how you did it, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's a battle that'll never be won. But I feel like other states have got some of their season framed pretty good for rifle. Yeah, Iowa.
Not in the rut.
Yeah. I feel
they
like
don't
you
allow
can
crossbows.
Yeah, I feel like you can have a rifle season, or even an early muzz season, or something that's like outside of that November time frame. I feel like if you give us that late part of October into November, I'm pretty golden. I mean, I'm a guy that hunts. I kind of get all over the place with this, but I hunt everything. So I hunt turkeys, deer, ducks.
Yeah, you do hunt everything.
Yeah. So whenever, I'll be honest, I love deer hunting. It's probably my number one. But whenever I get done out of rifle season, I get tired of the deer drives. I get tired of doing this. It's hard sometimes for me to get back in the woods with my bow.
It is,
just because I know that I'm ready to go duck hunting. Right. So it's like duck season's on. I'm gangbusters for that. And I that's a recent thing. I got into duck hunting about 5, 6, 7 years ago probably. So but I love that too. It's got its own struggles and
I guarantee you. I don't know much about it. I've been twice.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but whole time I was there, like I wanted to be out in the woods looking for deer, but it was fun, and I can see where it can be addicting, but I also don't need another expense.
No, it's probably one of the more expensive hunting hobbies there is out there.
And it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's the problem. Social media, I don't actually think I say social media is a problem. I think you guys talked about this on a couple podcasts ago, or maybe you've hit it on a lot of them, but social media is good and bad for a lot of reasons, right? Yeah. Like it exposes people who may be sitting behind a screen to what it's like to be outdoors to an extent. But then it also just promotes people who may or may not be, I don't know how to put this. It might put people in a fad kind of phase, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to do this because it's cool right now, right? And then you get a lot of turds out there. And I feel like duck hunting especially, I feel like if you want to talk about some of the crappiest people in the hunting community, I want to talk about duck hunters. And I love it. I love it. I am a duck hunter, but we have some of the worst. We have some of the worst community because we just crap on each other. Like we are not here to help each other out.
Yeah, and that happens, and it's we're sitting here talking about some of the negatives, so it's like, oh, are we one of them too? But if people would follow the respect and the regulations, I think we all get along a whole lot better.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like the ones that are out doing the bad thing and you're trying to do the right thing, it just puts a sour taste in your mouth. And it's hard not to bring it up. You're not going to win the fight. I just hope people maybe become a little more aware and be like, oh, maybe I'll think twice about doing the next thing that I was going to do.
Yeah.
Our fellow hunters out there, and I want everybody to enjoy it. I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to grow it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely love it, and I want everybody to have an opportunity to feel like what we feel, whether you're drawing down on a duck or not giving a turkey a headache or sticking a double lung deer. It's cool. It's a feeling you can't describe. Absolutely. And I love it, and we chase it like it's an adrenaline rush like no other. But it's also creates the most heartaches and the most frustration whenever you see people doing it the wrong way.
I think a lot of that too has come down with just people's, I don't know, view on just morals.
Oh yeah,
like 100%. I mean,
yeah.
Like if you're a good human being, it doesn't matter if you're a duck hunter or whatever. I mean, you're going to treat people with respect, but when you just have that poor ethics,
yeah.
And I think that is another thing too. Like you was talking about deer drives. Like I do deer drives. That's what our deer camp it does.
It's a culture and it's fun. It is fun.
Yeah, I do agree 100% with being ethical about it and being like if you see somebody parked there, I'm not going to walk through that valley.
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to start jumping deer like that. Like, they're hunting. Let's go on down the road, you know, and that's how our deer camp usually does, you know.
Yeah.
But if we find a place that's, you know, open and big wooded area or something like that, big holler or something like that, we may push it. But, do it ethically, you know, like that's the main thing. Is,
Yeah, safe and ethical.
Right.
Because I've heard a lot of, it is a dangerous thing.
It is dangerous. And I've also heard some people that know it's going to happen and they'll park intentionally to have a deer run through them. Like some people, like they just don't care how they get the meat.
Yeah.
And I get that too because, it tastes good. You know, it's not anymore about I'm feeding my family because it's way cheaper to go buy meat. Way cheaper.
No, it's not about that anymore.
It's not. But do I want to eat it? Yes. Do I love the thrill of hunting and taking down game? Absolutely. But if I wanted to take down game, I could do it a whole lot more efficiently.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's not what it's all about.
Right. If I wanted to stack my tags during rifle season and kill my 2 deer, I just do that, and then I honestly had plenty of meat. I don't need to be out there anymore than I have to be. But I mean, there's everybody talks about, you can't eat the horns, and it's like,
but if
true.
a spike's there and a 150, you're not shooting a spike over the 150.
No, I mean clearly there's a bigger body. There's more meat there. And obviously you're just sitting there. You're like, I'm gonna take this down in the store and I'm gonna show everybody that's what I killed.
You can't eat the horns, but you can sure stir the chili with them.
Yeah, you can. I do like chasing antler. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, there ain't a human out there that ain't gonna say they don't get more excited over a pumped up testosterone fueled buck coming to the woods.
100%.
Versus a little spike just walking through. Like a lot of that people that say that you can't eat, can't eat the horns. That's the people that can't kill the bucks. And I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's a lot of times people behind the screen. It must be nice to have private land, or must be nice to have the time off and all this stuff. Like, it is. It's still a struggle. I don't live on a gold mine property. I hunt a lot of public.
Oh yeah.
I've had.
I was going to ask
some
you
of my.
if you did.
Yeah, I hunt a lot of public. A lot of my better deers that I've been after have been on public.
Yeah.
Have I been as successful? No. But I've had opportunities and I've been pretty dang close. And I'll always continue to hunt both. I like to travel, and I always hunt public when I travel.
I like the idea of hunting public to the sense. I mean, I always talk about, like you said, dream property, right? Like, I wish I had like 200 acres over here with this nice, had this, the way I wanted to.
I wish I had my own 200 acre piece instead of a family piece, because I can't do what I want.
Yeah, you want to manipulate it the way you want to.
I kind of just have what's there,
Yeah, and kind of going back, I'm going to make this full circle too. The job that I have, I'm so fortunate to have. We always talk about it. We joke around at work. We're always like, so the Corps of Engineers, Wapell, we own 44,000 acres of land, right?
Yeah.
To a degree, it's like we have 44,000 acres of land that we can just kind of do what we want to do with.
And you're in and out of it all the time. Like, know it better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know it, especially around the lake. I'm not a big water person, so I don't get out on the lake and experience it, or I'm not always out in the woods, because I do try to take care of the private property first and then venture out to the public.
Yeah. I've worked there for 7 years. I've lived in Wayne County my whole life, and I still have not explored half. I probably have explored half, but maybe not. I still have a whole other half of the county I'm sure I've not even stepped foot on a piece of property. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, back to the public land part of it, it's like, I feel like it gives you a different challenge. I mean, kind of hunting out, if you think about hunting out of state too, that it's kind of a challenge to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to test myself. How good of a hunter am I? Right. Sometimes I get humbled very easily. I'm like,
most of the time.
Crap. Yeah, I thought this was going to work out. And it's like, I haven't even seen a deer in 2 days.
Especially if you get on those days where like temperature drop, pressure's rising. Like, oh yeah. And then you go out there like, crap, nothing. I didn't see a thing,
Right.
Or you're spooking animals, or like you don't know the terrain. Like, we come from our hilly area, go to a flatter spot. I'm like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do.
Well, yeah, and that's crazy. Like, we talk about, we grew up in an area that has so much public land.
We're fortunate.
You really
are. Like, to just stick to one piece of ground would be kind of crazy in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's so much good areas that people are, either they won't walk to, or it's just so far off the beaten path that,
Or if you got your spot, and my goal this year is to shoot a 150. Well, if I don't have a 150 here, I got to go find where one's at.
I remember one of the funnest things me and Alton Brookerson used to do is, like, we'd start out August, and we'd get like 15 game cameras. And we just go to like places that we were like, man, this looks like a good big buck spot. Let's put a camera here. We'd put either a bag of mineral or something out, and then we'd come back and check it in a week. If it had a big buck on it, we'd investigate. If
Yeah.
we didn't, we'd pick it up, we'd move it to another spot.
Yeah.
But it was like a weekly game camera check until we found like several 150s,
And we know
plus
Alton
deer.
can find deer too.
Yeah.
And you're a hell of an outdoorsman. You're a woodsman. Like between you two, like
I'm
there's
just
no
a good
doubt.
outdoorsman buddy. Like
Yeah, I'm a
keep you a
good.
good-
I'm a good supporter.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I get out there and I'm like, when it comes to finding deer, any animal really, I mean, you got to be a good woodsman. You got to be a really good woodsman. I feel like you got to know topography, terrain. You got to know what trees are. You got to know,
Yep.
you got to know. And sometimes I feel like I'm kind of poor at it.
I don't. I can topography. I'm decent at, like with trees and things or plant vegetation. I don't know what half the stuff is. I really don't. And
So
I'm like, man, why don't you study a little bit?
Yeah, I went to college I get a little bit more background on myself. I went to college at College of the Ozarks, same place Eric Limanen went, by the way.
Okay.
just
Did you play
FYI.
ball there?
No, I didn't.
I was
No.
thinking some reason you did.
No, I didn't play ball there. But I did get my degree in conservation and wildlife management
Cool.
there.
I wish I would have done something like that.
Yeah, I always knew that I was going to do something. With that, I just didn't know exactly what I was going to do. But it helped. I got on at the Corps when I was at TRC down here in Poplar Bluff.
Cool.
So they had a students program. I was on at the Corps working as a student.
Yeah.
So before I pursued my bachelor's degree, I already had somewhat of a job there, and then I could see what it was like to work there. And I was like, they're like, yeah, you get your bachelor's, you do this, you might have a shot at getting a full-time position. I was very fortunate that I lucked into a spot like that. But yeah, I knew from the get-go, I was like, okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to go as hard as I can to try and get this job. And I was pretty fortunate to get that. But back to kind of learning some of your stuff, like woodsmanship, just trees and forestry and stuff like that. We had some classes, and I learned stuff in there, don't get me wrong. But I've learned probably 99% of my stuff just being out with, being out there, because
It sticks with you better too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going out there marking timber with guys, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, I still to this day, I'm sitting there looking at my card. I'm like, what kind of tree is this? I'm like, and then Eric will be like, he looks at it for a second. He's like, well, it looks like this. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And we're like, all right, we're going to call it, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I keep going through, and I'm like, all right, I know what this is. This is, whatever. So
we had that same situation happen today at break at lunch. We were taking a break by a creek, and I walked down there, and several of my buddies are loggers, so I called them down there, and I was like, hey, what kind of trees are those, and we all decided, I can't remember, none of us really knew exactly, but yeah. One of my favorite things is walking around. I got a buddy that's in forestry,
Taking a nature walk.
Yeah, and like he knows so much information. He can tell you every tree out there, every bush out there, and it's like I enjoy learning. Like when I was a kid, dude, I used to watch National Geographics.
Oh, all the time.
nonstop.
Yep, me too.
That was all I cared about. And yeah, it is neat learning your surroundings and how nature plays a part in everything.
Yeah, and part of that knowledge I got too. My dad, he's in the tie industry, so he does a lot with lumber or like ties, and he knows a lot about trees because he's been around them his whole life too. So he's like, yeah, I mean, he knows every species of white oak, or oak, or even subspecies of white oak. He's like, I know it. That's a post oak. That's blackjack oak. That's this. That's that. And I was like, okay, and so I learned some of that from him as well. But going back to being a good woodsman, I got a buddy of mine, and he's very unorthodox with his style of hunting. I feel like he's the one that got me into one sticking and saddle hunting and doing all that. But he was just, and he's not fancy. He don't do anything. I mean, he doesn't own the most expensive gear. He kind of just, I feel like sometimes he just flies by the seat of his pants, but he will go out to a block of woods, and I feel like no matter what, he's going to have a game plan, and he's going to do it the way he wants to do it. And he, like 9 times out of 10, he's successful at it.
Yep.
And it's so funny because I'm sitting over here. I'll be at my truck looking at my maps, and I'm like,
dude, I'll spend half the morning doing that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, do I want to go?
Or going through your trail cameras and nothing showed up.
Yeah.
Doesn't say they're not there.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm going to storm out here. I'm going to go. And I'm like, awesome. And he's, I don't know, like scent control and all this and that. I don't know how big on scent control. I mean, for the recent years, I've kind of just said, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to play the wind.
Way. I'll spray down with Scent Thief. It's helped me.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat a deer's nose.
Sure.
And especially if you're wearing stuff to the truck, or I've always got food on me or whatever. Like you just, I try to take some precautions.
Sure.
But
I don't think it hurts anything.
I say play the wind, but I mean, you work out in the woods and the way it is around here. If it's a northwest wind, it's blowing a northeast, southwest where you're hunting. With the way the hills and stuff roll. And I think that's why a lot of times I'm not as successful as I'd like to be, because these deer up here, they're in a pocket to where they know the wind's doing that, and they can smell things and see things in every direction. And before you're in there, they know you're coming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're always going to try. They're going to play that wind. They're going to sit on a leeward side, and they're going to be watching down in a holler, and they're going to be having that wind roll over the top of their back so that way they can smell what's coming above them. They're going to be looking down what's going below them. So it's like, sometimes it feels dang near impossible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. I'm like, how in the heck do I ever kill deer?
Yeah, and I know people from Nebraska's going to say the same thing, Pennsylvania, whatever. They're all going to have their issues, but it's like, man, like deer around here, just to be consistent, and especially like with archery, it's tough. I think it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of past history. It's a lot of woodsmanship. Like everything combined, is sometimes you find that 4-leaf clover, but usually you just find an itchweed.
Yeah. I think our deer really. I mean, you get to that October 25th time frame. A lot of times it don't matter what you do. You're out there in their travel path.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah,
Yep.
Time invested is gonna get
Time
you more deer
invested, yep.
killed than anything.
Yeah, I kill a lot of deer early in the season, September and like mid-October.
Yeah.
Kind of catching them on their feeding patterns.
Oh yeah.
And is how I've been successful.
Yeah.
You know, and I always luck out and find a few deer late season, but it's a lot of hours spent of not seeing anything. You know, I prioritize my time. If I'm off, I'm probably hunting. You know, and that's a lot of people are like, well, I don't have time. Like, well, you kind of have to either make it. Some people just don't have time.
Yeah.
You know, I could do more things and have more money in my pocket or more assets if I would put more time towards that thing. But hunting just means so much to me. Like, that's where I spend my time every day. Hunting is not a weekend thing for me. It's not a 3-month thing for me.
No.
It's a 365 every single day. I am trying to learn something or stay plugged in to that every single day. And I am ate up with it. And it can get kind of to me sometimes, like late season after, like I said, we've got unsuccessful earlier in the season, or I've got one, I want to fill my second one. I've had to deal with all the rifle season stuff. You're on social media and everybody you see is killing all these deer. You're like, man, like I suck. And then you get late season where they're pressured, there's no leaves on, it's cold, and it's with camera gear, you're having to set up like every set's going to be that one. You got to make a story out of it, and then you come in with nothing.
Yeah.
And it gets to you, but you know, I feed off of it.
Yeah. I actually set up. I had a super good late season hunt this year. It was like was it like first, maybe second week of December? Me and Dad went out and we hunted around a public land.
I love that time frame.
Yeah, public land field. And again, I'm in full duck mode, right? So I'm duck hunting, right? Yeah. But Dad was like, we should go. We should go.
Your dad, he bow hunts too, doesn't he?
Yeah. I kind of get on that. It's kind of a funny story. But anyways, so we went out and we're sitting. I'm sitting close to this field. He's sitting pretty much dang near on his field edge because I just knew there was deer going out there. I'm like, if you want, a good shot at. He wanted to kill a doe too. He was just whatever. And I kind of was in the same mindset. I was like, I might just shoot a doe today, And I set up in this creek bottom, kind of like right on the edge of this hillside, and I didn't know what bucks was in there. I just knew there was some deer in there, and I had a pretty good 120, probably 8-pointer running. He was feeding around is what he was doing, but he was kind of acting weird because he was just like, he'd hop a little bit, he'd run a little bit, and he'd stop, and he'd just start, and it almost like something was just not right. Well, I looked back up the hill behind him, and there was had to be a 140 plus buck. He was feeding, going. I was like, holy crap! I think I seen between what does was going to that field and those two bucks. I think I seen like 13 deer.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Dang.
but it was
And
like
it happens like that time of year.
Yeah, it was like the best hunt I had all season. And I'm like, why am I not doing this more often?
Yeah.
It's like makes me want to give up duck hunting a little bit sometimes. I probably should, honestly, with the amount of money I spend on it. One day I feel like if it was going to be giving up something, it'd probably be duck hunting, just because deer hunting courses through my veins.
Yeah. I attach myself more with deer. Same way, like with you with duck hunting or me with turkey hunting. Like it's just something to do and it's fun. But man, like I remember the deer. If I shoot a buck or a lot of does, if I sit down, I can remember most of them. But like every buck, I can like take it back to the time and just like relive it. And it's like, I can't wait till the next go around.
Oh yeah, it's cool. I will say the duck hunting thing, if I had to give any nod to it, you're sitting there. I mean, you are in it, right? You are in their wheelhouse too, to a degree. They're ready to land there. And if you've ever seen a pack of mallards or a pack of whatever coming in, and they got them wings out and feet down.
What do they call that? cupping.
Cupped up. Yeah. I call them muscle man. Like they're muscle.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like, you know.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. But no, it's actually something.
Yeah.
When I seen it happen for the first time, I was hooked. I see it go hunting in the flooded timber, and it's even better because they're more in your face. One time, a couple years ago, we went on a hunt, and I think right before shooting light, we had probably like 200 mallards in this hole, and they were just kept flying in. I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is absolutely nuts.
I could see where it'd be addictive. Like when I went this year, we went with the Brattons, and we had a big, nice shooting house. It was one of those mornings. It was like 0 degrees, or 5 degrees. And it was so pretty. Man, they were cooking breakfast, Riley Cage, and I was out filming, and I eventually got to shoot a couple ducks. Like, cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun, and I do want to go more just because I want to get my feet wet in other avenues. I've got to where like I don't even turkey hunt, or I barely turkey hunt. I don't squirrel hunt. I don't rabbit hunt. I don't fish. You know, like I get so consumed with deer that's like just it eats me up. And I've got to kind of step away a little bit and venture out. 'Cause I also want to find some more avenues to bring my kids up in, because if I'm deer hunting, I'm pretty serious about it. With like turkey hunting and stuff like that, and the other squirrel hunting or fishing, like you can kind of mess up and take some people with you and let them kind of learn and just get the grasp of the outdoors. Yeah, I just need to do that.
Yeah, that's the secret, or that's what I like about it. I'm more of a hippie kind of person when it comes to like why. Like I love hunting, don't get me wrong, like, but the thing that draws me is nature, you know, just seeing how things work, and, you know, how God, you know, created all this stuff and how things operate. Like some days that's one of the biggest thrills is, you know, seeing a family of coons walk by or something like that, or watching squirrels, you know, while they're doing their thing. And like you said, the ducks coming in, like that is a beautiful sight. I'm not a big duck hunter, but I've seen that before, and especially the sunrises and sunsets that you see during duck hunting.
Oh, yeah. It's cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, you think about a turkey hunt, like a spring morning, and everything is alive. Like it is coming alive. You can't beat that, man.
No.
But like going back to like talking about the family of coons, right? Well, last year me and Dad was turkey hunting, and we had a gobbler. He was not very far away at all, and he was just hammering it. We set up on this little point. He was coming down to this bottom, and we could hear something just crunching in the leaves, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, like this could be a hen walking. No. I look over, and there is a freshly born baby deer, and he just barely going. I mean, he's getting up, I'm falling over. And I'm like, and Dad's like, do you see that? Do you see that? And this gobbler's just, wow, you know, and I'm not even caring about this gobbler anymore. Yeah. I'm sitting there videoing my phone. I got this video going because I'm like, this is like one of the coolest things ever. Like this thing had to be born like hours ago. Like he's still wet, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it was coolest thing. And eventually, like, I'm like, that Tom shut up, and I'm like, let's just get out of here. Like, you know, like that doe's got to be in here close. Like she needs to get back to, you know. And so we ended up working some other turkey somewhere else, but it was kind of cool. I was just like, again, kind of taken back by it. Like, I'm sitting here in their home, you know, I could be focused on this Tom, you know, killing this turkey, and then now, like, here comes this.
Mom just wants to know if you guys ate dinner or if you want dinner.
I'm good. I already ate, but I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Daddy, do you want food?
I'll eat some later on, but thanks for asking. Love you, sissy.
She's sweet.
Yeah, she is.
I can't wait till my kid gets about that age.
I'm gonna take her turkey hunting next week. I think it's next weekend, isn't it? The 9th?
No, the 11th.
11th, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her out there with me and
Well, I'll tell you what.
see what happens.
Talking about kids playing sports, that's the sad thing. Like opening day of youth turkey season this year, softball tournament.
Yeah.
I even gave my daughter the option. I was like, we got a tournament coming up. I said, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Because I was going to let her skip.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
sure. You want to go turkey hunting?
Yeah.
Let's go turkey hunting.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, you think there'll be rings there? And I was like, I mean, good chance. It's a softball tournament, you know, travel ball, so there'd probably be rings.
Yeah.
I really want to win a ring. I was like, okay. I said, we'll go softball.
Right. That's
We didn't
her
have-
turkey
Yeah.
hunting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now
And
it's her
cool.
turkey hunting.
And
right?
that's all I want.
And you don't want to
from-
pressure
Yeah.
into it because
And that's all I want from my daughter is I don't care if you like hunting or not. Like, I want you to come hunting because it's fun. You know, you want to spend time with your dad, you know?
And I've heard of some people being introduced to it too early and too heavy,
Yeah.
and like they come out of it. There's a lot of guys that don't start hunting until kind of later on in life, kind of like you in a way, and then you're ate up with it. Like
Yeah.
you're able to focus on that instead of trying to figure out who the hell you are. And as a kid, I want them to go. Luckily, they seem pretty eager to go with me.
Yeah.
But Archer's 4, she's 7. Hopefully I can. She was out there with me this year when I shot that doe with a pistol.
Oh, that's cool.
And she loved it.
Yeah.
She don't care. I had to go slit its throat. I didn't want it to suffer. I shot it just a little bit high and it dropped her, but I want to do diligence. And
Absolutely.
Want to get
Yeah.
over with. And she's like, she has my 360 camera. I'm like, sis, you stay back here. I'm just going to talk. And I watched the footage later. She's like, yeah, Dad's out there cutting a deer's neck. And like she didn't care. And they want to watch me skin them and they want to eat it. Like I'm glad I introduced it to them so they're not
Mortified.
Yeah, they're not mortified.
Yeah.
Like they understand the process
Yeah.
and they know that like I love it and I'm passionate about it. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it as ethical and quick as possible. Unfortunately, sometimes you have a sapling there and you shoot him in the neck. Like I've been there.
Yeah.
Or you gut shot him, or
Yeah.
it's a tough. It teaches a lot of lessons in life.
Oh yeah.
How to balance between, like, for me, I have a problem with every high there's a low, and I'm always sometimes I make myself come off that high because I'm like, well, the low's going to kick in. Hunting gives that to you almost daily.
Oh, absolutely.
You can go in off 5 days of not seeing a dang thing, and all of a sudden you see a baby fawn come up, or you get to watch the woods come alive. If you ever just sit back and put your phone away and be like, thanks God for putting me out here. Not everybody gets to witness this. I know there's not enough woods in the world for everybody in the world to get to experience it, but I hope that as many people possible that can see that and maybe just take a step back, because in this fast-paced world, it's easy to get too caught up in
Oh,
things.
dude, yeah. The screens are terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
They are so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just as bad as anybody when it comes to it.
Yep.
But kind of going into all this, because I feel like when you're saying like taking somebody out hunting and being way too serious, I feel like I have been probably the world's worst when it comes to that. Like I take
bad
somebody
about it.
like fishing. Or I used to be super big on fishing.
You used to make lures, didn't you?
Yeah,
Didn't
dude,
you?
I used to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
No, I used to make lures, and I used to do YouTube. And it was all pretty much fishing stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it was small time. Like, so don't ever search my name on YouTube. But anyways,
We're small town too.
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I used to love that, right? Well, and even when it came to hunting, I was like, all right, this is what you need to do. This is what and it's like, that's what I sometimes I'm preaching to them stuff that I need to do too,
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I think, oh, well, if I give them every piece of advice that I didn't do, then I'm going to set them up for success. But in reality, it's like you're kind of setting a standard and you're trying to like make them reach this high bar of like perfection to a degree, when in all reality, it's like you need to let them just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And fail.
Yeah.
You gotta fail.
Yeah, because they're
have
never
to.
going to value it, and they're never going to figure, like, it's not going to
Yeah.
click. Sometimes, like, me telling you something is never going to click the same way of them just sitting there and be
Okay,
like,
like shooting a deer over a corn pile.
yeah.
For one, whether you do it or not, it is illegal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like if it was legal and you took a kid out and they shot a deer every year over that corn pile, like, you think they're really going to fall in love with the true aspect of
Yeah.
the outdoors? Because like it comes easier if you go to you got a stock pond and you're catching a fish every cast, or whatever. If it came easy, I think it'd be a short-lived thing. Like,
Absolutely.
And like look at it like it took you years to kill a deer. It took me years to kill a deer.
Took me a long time. I mean, it really did.
It took a lot of just going out there, and I didn't have internet, didn't have phones. My dad, like I said, he only rifle hunted. We took the four-wheeler out and the Jeep, and we went and just set. And he picked me up whenever it was time. We had walkie-talkies. You check in every once in a while. Don't holler at it when you want to, because
Yeah.
I've ran some deer off and they've been pretty pissed at me. But like you need to go out there and you need to see what it's like to come up short.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why I also agree with no participation trophies for kids.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it
Like,
builds character.
Yeah, like
right?
if you're not very good, you need to like understand that some people have more talent, or some people have more work ethic, or some people are talented with no work ethic. Like your time will come and you'll figure out your avenue.
Oh yeah,
And it's going to come if you're looking for it. I don't think it comes. I think you have to sometimes hit that almost rock bottom to decide like what you have in life.
sure.
And that's why I always try to teach my daughter. Like, I was like, I don't care if you go to college. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But I said, all I want to instill in you is a work ethic. And a drive. I said, because if you have a work ethic, it doesn't matter how much college education you have. You can beat somebody that doesn't have a work ethic but has 6 years degree.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be easy.
No,
but
yeah.
if you can outwork them, I said you'll get the I said, you usually always come out on top. And if you don't, you just learn to get back up and you keep going.
Yeah.
And I said, and you keep going and you keep going. Don't give up. I said, you'll make it. And, I see that in my daughter. You know, she's got that drive. So
Even with guys that are successful business, say Matthews Archery, you know, if they said, hey, we've made it, we're just going to keep on rolling what we're doing, they're going to get passed by Prime.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get passed by Bowtech. Because if you're not being challenged constantly, and you're not stepping out of your comfort zone, you're becoming dormant.
Yeah.
You know, and like we're way behind on the podcast game. We're way behind on YouTube. I don't do what I should do on social media. You know, every waking minute that I have, if I'm trying to grow this, needs to be doing that. I'm also trying to do the real estate thing. You know, Swilly, you know, he's getting ready to take his test for real estate. I'm proud as hell of him because we've talked about this. I've already tried and I failed myself. But you know, I'm trying again. I'm trying again. You know, and one of my best friends is going through it right now. You know, Swilly, and
sweet.
It's cool to see that no matter how old you get, you can still you can still accomplish dreams. You can still chase after them. You can still be like, okay, you know, this ain't for me. I'm gonna do something different. You know.
Oh yeah.
But I feel bad for the guys that get stuck in clocking in, clocking out, going home, eating dinner, and repeating.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have something that is firing you up, I don't know how you survive.
I don't know how many times I've heard people say, you know, like, well, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know how you do that. I can't do that. Well, if you tell yourself you can't do it, you're never going to be able to do it.
Right,
Like you got to start out and say, well, I mean, it's going to suck, but I can probably try, you know, like
Yeah.
that's the first step of doing anything. Like if you tell yourself you can't, you never will.
Yeah.
Fear is a terrible thing, right?
And I'm talking to myself. With
me
this.
too.
Like,
Yeah,
I ain't like
absolutely.
preaching at the choir because I've had to. I mean, that's why I believe in that so much
Sure.
is because I've had to overcome it so many times.
I'm a procrastinator.
Me too.
And I'll spend, like I said, with ADHD, I'll spend so much time getting ready to go to the woods, and I'll be on my phone like, oh, where should I go? If I go here, man, I don't know. Like 2 years ago, I didn't see a deer. 3 years ago, I did. And cameras aren't here. Well, there's no acorns, but they're out in the green. Well, that field has cows in it. It's like, man, like sometimes you just got to take a leap of faith.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, God, walk me in that direction, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Break it down.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm almost 36 years old. If I'd have had this passion that I had when I was your age
Yeah.
and been able to run with it and had the knowledge that I have, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, that's not God's will for me. You know, like I think everybody has a time in their life when that eye-opening experience is going to happen and they're going to be like, man, like, okay, it's time for me to step up and be a man. You know, what do I need to do? And I think I'm going to share this instance. I think this is a cool experience of how life changed for me. It was like, you know, I was out of church for a long time. I was hurt by the church.
Yeah.
And like a little voice in my head told me, take your family to church.
Yeah.
Because you're the man of the family.
Yeah.
And if you don't take them, then who's going to take them?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. You know, I was like, well, okay, I'll do it. You know, because I knew deep down that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and did it. And that whole changed the whole course of, that was the breakthrough right there. And I think the number one key that I'm trying to get at is, you know, take your pride down. If God tells you to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions, because I didn't know at that time what was going to happen. Like I said, like I walked into church that Sunday afternoon. At the time, I was smoking weed all the time. I was high as 4 hippies, you know, in that church service. I was daring people to judge me. I'm like, come on, you know. I said, but you know, the course of events that God has blessed me and my family and like changed my outlook on life has just been like, oh man,
You can be a lot happier.
yeah,
Right?
I didn't even see this back then, you know, but it all started, I obeyed, you know, and that's the number one thing I think that men have to learn is to drop their pride sometimes. Because I mean, I was a prideful sucker, you know, for years. I mean, I didn't want to do that, you know.
Yeah, and so going back to that, that was awesome, by the way, because it's not easy sitting up even just in front of anybody talking about your personal convictions and your testimony, right? I feel like, and I'm not going to be apologetic to anybody who's listening, because to me, I feel like I need to share my faith a lot of times, and I think it's a lot of times God convicts me to share it, because I feel like when I get into an atmosphere with a lot of people, I get a little bit like, step back, right? Well, this is awesome. I appreciate it. I think that was one thing I was listening to you guys' podcast. You're not afraid to say. You're not afraid to say what you want to say, and you're not afraid that, you know, that you feel like your faith has put you in positions to do a lot of these things. I was in the same position as you were, though. I mean, like, I was not really hurt by the church. I've been going to church my whole life, but it was one of those things where it was like, I felt like I was kind of held back to a degree. Like, my parents were great parents, but I always felt like they were in my bubble and I need to do my own thing and like whatever. And it was like, oh, I'd go to church some and then I'd be like, you know what, like, don't tell me how I need to do my thing. Don't. And then again, stepping back, humbling yourself, come to a realization moment where there was a lot of things that happened in my life in a short period of time where it was like, holy cow, like I need God more than ever. And like I didn't know it until I really like things started hitting the fan and I was like, I gotta figure something out. And he dug me out of a hole, and it was maybe to some not a big deal, but to me it was huge. Yeah. And it reset. I feel like I kind of just reset my whole life, right? I kind of was like, there's before I was saved and then after I was saved. And it's like now I'm like, my atmosphere, my whole mindset, I can be more positive. I still get bummed out. I still say things I shouldn't. I still think things I shouldn't. Yeah. But in all reality, like, kind of just building my life, I feel like hopefully at this point I can instill that into my kids. I can live a successful life in my job, my career, do more things like this, and then hunt, and then realize where it's like I'm not gonna get ever to the point where I'm like too prideful for God. I need to take it back a step and be like, you know what, thanks, thank you for everything that you give me.
Absolutely.
Waking up every morning, taking that breath, waking up late so that way, if I have to go hunting, I wake up late, I get frustrated, but it's like, you know what? Maybe God made me wake up late so that way I can go out there and kill the biggest buck in my life.
You woke up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely one of the keys is being thankful. And that's what God showed me, like, especially like having the family I've got. Like sometimes you overlook stuff like that, small things, like,
for sure.
Like family, like how sweet it is to have a kid that's still breathing, that loves you, that acts, that's your baby, and you have the opportunity to guide her and kind of form how she's going to turn out in life. It's not all you, but God's going to, God has put you in front of that child to teach her. And, like when you find out that that's your responsibility and that's going to rest on your shoulders, that's when it's kind of like, oh man, like I better start stepping my game up.
It's a rude awakening at first, but eventually it kind of just comes where you see the smaller things and then just more thankful. And like I said, you still think and do things that you're not proud of. But like, it's a lot more comforting to know that He's got my back.
Yeah, it's like it's
because I don't have my own back.
It's comforting to know that I got a God that's going to forgive me for things that I do wrong. Right? Yeah. It's like as long as you ask Him, as long as you go to Him, as long as you are genuine about it, not just just blowing Him off and be like, I'm going to go and do whatever I want, and then God's got me. But it's like in all reality, you really need to be less prideful. Feel like people need to understand that. It's a relationship. It's a two-way street there. It's not just, hey, God, you're my God, and you're going to take care of me no matter what. It's like, I feel like you got to understand. You got to come to Him. You got to come
for the good and the bad.
Yeah, humble. Be humble in front of Him. I'm not a big scripture knower. I don't know every word there is in the Bible, but I do know my personal relationship. So I feel like that's just same way. So. But something I do want to, we're going everywhere, but I do want to talk.
What we do.
Yeah.
This is every podcast.
It's great though.
What's that song? Cuss on a Monday and pray on a Sunday. Like that's like how I am. Like crap,
This is like
this is church, right? This is church right now. Yeah. But no, something I do want to say about kind of all that, going back to taking people hunting. We were talking about that, and it's a good thing. There is something a unique opportunity. I don't know if you guys are aware. I don't know if Eric kind of mentioned anything about the Jake's hunt with NWTF. So
I don't think so.
Yeah. So again, I'll plug it just for a little bit, purposes wise. There is the NWTF. I believe it's the Cape chapter. They come out to the lake every year around this time, obviously during the youth turkey hunts, and they put on a little kind of like a camp style atmosphere. They pick about 10 kids or so usually. You can apply for it, and they have a camp set up. This year it's at the camp at Lake Wappapell at the Forest Event Center there. Yeah. The years past it's been at SEMA Boys Camp, but they get 9 or 10 kids or so if interested, and then a few volunteers. But the Corps of Engineers staff, a couple of us guys, we're guides, so we go out and we'll take kids and their parents, and then we'll go out and sit and call up a turkey and get them killed. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. It's like one of the coolest things I do. But it's something I've learned that like sometimes I'm like, okay, we need to run and get up this hill and get And last year there was this steep hill. This little girl, she was wearing bibs and all this and that, and her uncle I'm like, we need to get up there. And I'm running. And I stop for a second. I have to take a breather, and I look back, and she's like 50 yards down the hill. And I'm like, and I had to sit there for a second. I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, yeah. yeah. And I'm like, we can stop if you need to. And she goes, no, I want to kill this turkey. And we got up there. Obviously, it didn't work out. We had him drumming like 30 yards just over the peak. But anyways, the Jake's hunt, if you know anybody that, and I can probably get some contacts and stuff if you need it. But if you know anybody that does want to take their kid out and wants to, we do try. Like I'm spending a lot of times. I get to work early to get some time to go out and listen for birds before really the work day starts.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm getting there like an hour early so I can go out and listen for turkeys, then come back to the office so that way I can get time to actually start my work day. So, but yeah, I mean, talking about taking people hunting, it's a humbling experience to get people outdoors, and I got to take a step back, but to really, learn that these kids are just going to have fun, finding mushrooms or picking up a turtle shell while we're
it's
out
a good
there.
time to be in the woods.
Yeah.
Ticks aren't terrible. You got a lot of things coming to life.
So when is that thing?
It starts April 11th but they meet. I guess April 10th, that Friday, they have the camp and they have the cabins reserved and different things and whatnot. But I don't know what it's going to be like this year because we're doing it at a different location as far as their camp set up. So I don't know if there's a deadline to have stuff in. Last year there's people putting in like the day before their applications. I think at the last town I had, they didn't have a full 10 amount of kids, so I think there were like 7 or 8 kids. But if you, like I said, if you know anybody, I'm sure I can get some contact info and stuff and get you set up. But it's a really, really unique opportunity because you see kids usually every year, at least a couple kids kill out, and a buddy of mine, he's that guy I was telling you has that DJI camera. He's got a regular Panasonic
camcorder style.
Yeah, camcorder style.
Yeah.
Got pretty good quality camera footage, and he last year there was 3 toms just strutting and gobbling out in front of this kid, and he smoked one probably about 35 yards, 410. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. So,
I got to get I bought a little reflex sight. I think I can't even remember what brand it was, but I got to get it on my daughter's 410 because, like I said, she's playing softball tournament Saturday, but at Sunday we're going to try to see if we can get after them.
Yeah, I bought that little Bushnell. It's not a reflex sight; it's
That-
more of a red dot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if it doesn't work well, I'll put the reflex off that 6.5 Creedmoor and put it on
yeah.
one of the. I got that 20 gauge I'm gonna pick up this week, and I'll have that 410. But probably the 410 won't kick near as bad.
That 6.5 Creedmoor, boy, that sucker will lay some turkeys down, won't it?
Yeah, they want to be 35 yards.
Oh, that's funny. You got a what 20 gauge are you getting?
A little 20 gauge youth escort.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
$260.
Yeah,
Wood
cheapo.
grain, pump action. I got a Carlson choke, which I need to see when that's coming in. But yeah, I'm kind of finally getting fired up. I'm not big into turkey hunting, but always like when it comes time, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Dude,
And I was listening to some podcasts today, and I'm like, I'm getting kind of fired up.
It's awesome, man. It's like every season, honestly, I get ramped up about like whatever it's going to be. I always say that deer hunting's like one of my favorites, but in all honesty, when it gets this close to turkey season, I'm like, I think turkeys are my favorite. And then I'll get over and I'm like, no, I'm ready for deer hunting. And then I'll get close to ducks. I'm like, man, I can't wait. It's awesome to have the same kind of drive for almost all 3 of those.
Yeah.
But no, I'm shooting a 410 this year. Actually, I bought Eric Limanen's 410. He had a 410. His wife bought him another 410, so then he was like, hey, I don't need this other 410. I'll sell it. And so he sold me the package. I just got it sighted in this week, so I'm ready to go with that. I've been rocking a 20 gauge pretty much every year I've turkey hunted, so it's going to be a decent change of pace to carry something, twice as light and kicks
it is
twice
nice.
as less.
It's crazy how they've come up with like TSS shells and like
man.
the
I've killed turkey at 42
range.
yards with that 410, and I've shot coyotes at 30 yards.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
That's cool.
and rolled them. It's
Yeah.
like,
I tell you, if you're going to get TSS, though, I get it now. It just seems like it
Yeah.
keeps climbing more.
Yeah, and that's what me and my buddy were talking about at work. Like I was like, at the price that they're asking for it now, like I don't think there's my old longbeards are going to do just fine. Like
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like I'm not going to spend $100 for a thing of shells.
Yeah,
Like for
you-
5 shots.
20 gauge was $82 for 5 TSSs. So I bought a set of tungsten 5, 6, and 7 shot for like $35. Still high.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $80 for 5
At that
shells.
point, it's going to be more of a competition for myself to see how close. I just need to get that
Well,
bird a
it's,
little closer.
yeah, it's more of like that's kind of getting back in your woodsmanship and your just hunter skill. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bird's going to do what it wants to do to a degree, and there's probably times where it's going to be at that 40, 50 yard range, and you're just like, oh, are you kidding me? I can smoke this thing. But yeah, I mean, I even think, I went to 410 with TSS. I know I can reach out there a little ways, but I want to keep them 30 and in.
Yeah, you really want to. You ain't got much of a pattern.
No,
There ain't a lot of pallets going down range, but it will It will kill them.
Yeah,
I've killed a
yeah.
couple at right at 40 yards.
Yeah.
And with self-filming, it's hard for me to get them in super, super close and try to get footage. But I'm not going to take an unethical shot. I don't want to kill a turkey at 70 yards. But 40 and in, like, that's good for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I would encourage, which I'm sure you're already doing this, but in my opinion, I just get more excited, honestly, taking somebody turkey hunting
Oh, yeah.
and filming.
I like going with people.
Dude, it's so
it's
fun.
fun.
Like
Yeah.
it is so fun.
You don't have to squeeze the trigger.
No. I have 3 or 4 people in mind right now that I'm just like, I want to take them turkey hunting because they've either never killed a turkey or we've just not hunted together or whatever. One of them, my cousin, he's never been turkey hunting before in his life, and he's a big bow hunter, and he's just like, I want to do it. I got a shotgun. I'm like, we need to go. But I'm like, I got to get schedules lined up. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to take him or not, but man, I would much rather just be taking people and then I hunt the last week or something, for myself.
That's what I always say too. If them birds didn't gobble and do what they do, like I wouldn't care about hunting them. Like I mean, I don't care about going out there just slaughtering turkeys.
No,
Like,
yeah.
Now I do like eating turkeys.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is some of my favorite food.
Turkey is good. I wish there was more meat on them because I do love fried turkey
Yeah,
breasts,
yeah.
biscuits and
With
gravy and egg.
Ooh,
That is my
yeah.
absolute. My mouth is watering right now.
After fasting all
Yeah,
day.
dude, I don't really eat much pizza, and it tastes the best pizza I've had all day. I'm telling you,
That is one thing that I will say. Like I don't even know if we talked about this on the podcast since we've been on, but about you fasting. Like that's when you do fast like that. Sometimes like your view on food changes because you're like
survival mode, right?
Like
A
when
little bit.
you're used to just putting something in your mouth every 2 hours or something like that, it's just like food.
Yeah.
But then when you go without it for a little while, and then all of a sudden you take that first bite, you're just like, oh my gosh, like
Sometimes food that's not most appealing tastes better. A little bit too. Like you go a while, you fast, you eat healthy food or whatever, and you taste something, you're like, yeah, like I don't care what it is. You just get it in my body.
Yeah,
I'm ready to
just
eat.
whatever.
Yeah, I did some intermittent fasting back in the day, and I definitely felt that. So
I think fasting from everything is kind of good.
Yeah.
Like not just food, but I mean, like,
I try to take a
yeah.
break on like everything. I just listen to podcasts. I didn't try to get my mind on any other thing distraction wise, and I'm glad I did it for the short period that I did. I mean, some people go days without it.
I
don't know how either.
yeah.
But I was hoping it would kind of help reset my mind. Like, okay, you fasted. Now try to clean up your diet a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like it's coming into springtime. Like you're working out hard. Like you're not going to get the results you want if you're eating junk all the time.
Yeah.
And I got a bad taste for sweets.
Yeah.
that's my
And
struggle
I said
too.
yesterday they had donuts. Today, Roland came in working on a piece of
Oh.
equipment, and they brought in donuts too. And they're like, Scott, you want one? I'm like, I can't do it. Willpower.
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife, I'll plug her a little bit. She started a little micro bakery, so she's cooking
seen
out of the
that on
house.
your-
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so she's doing like a little farm stand out, like she just wheels it out in the driveway. She's got sourdough bread, and she's got, all these baked goods and stuff. So honestly, like it's been a struggle, like not to just eat some of that stuff. Which I'll be honest, she makes so much of it. I'm just like,
Where's this stand at?
Yeah.
It's in Williamsville. It's right there at.
I was like, we go into Williams.
Yeah,
being
so
MoDOT
it's
workers.
it's right across from the
Little
senior
black and white stand.
Yeah, it's right across from the senior housing there. Just
I
up the
didn't know
street
you
from-
lived there till the other day. Well, or our anniversary. Mike and Haley went with us.
Oh yeah,
And we came by. Oh, that's where Trevor Willard lives.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know where you lived at.
yeah. So we do that every Saturday pretty much. There might be a couple Saturdays we don't have it out there, but kind of going back to just like, I know I feel like everything kind of comes back full circle when we talk about a topic a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it does.
she, she's been in the military, done her thing there. She didn't go to college. She works at the bank, but she kind of likes the job. It's okay, it pays, whatever.
yeah.
She's off for maternity leave right now, and this is kind of something that's a passion of hers. It's been sometimes it's a struggle to try and compare what my hobbies to. Hey, what do you like to do? It's like, what's your passion?
Yeah.
That's
And
her
she's
bow
like-
hunting.
Yeah, kind of to a degree. Like I didn't know that, and she's kind of always been like, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't know. And then now we've kind of like, you know what, like. I will spend some money. We'll build this thing. We'll get some stuff going. And I kind of like went in on this with her because sometimes I'm a little tightwad when it comes to spending stuff outside of my hunting budget.
Yep.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, I can spend this on my arrows. I can spend this on whatever.
Yep.
But when it comes to other things, I'm like, why do we need that? Why do we need this? And I get a little bit cantankerous. And I apologize to my wife. She's watching this, But anyways, but no, I went in on this with her, and it's keeping her really busy. And I mean, already having 2 kids, it's hard to do, but it's like, you know what? It's a goal. It keeps her up. It keeps her doing stuff. It keeps her from just,
Yeah.
sitting on her phone scrolling or whatever. So, and she loves it. And I'm like, and she's like, even talking about, well, if this gets successful, I'd love to, just maybe take a step back, do a part-time job, do this. And nothing would mean more to me than her being able to stay home with my kids.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'd love to work that out. But kind of talking about like life kind of putting you in a box, I feel like she's kind of discovering that too for herself. Like, hey, I can get outside of this box.
Yeah.
I can do these things and not, I can control my life a little bit, not let life control me. So I'm super proud of her. I really am. She's a great woman. She's a great wife, great mother. So honestly, I'm just super blessed to have her in my life. Didn't know, I've been around her my whole life. We went to high school together, barely talked.
I remember when she was born. She was my neighbor.
Yeah, I know. She talks. She's like, like Scott used to come over and babysit me a little bit,
And she babysit my kids too. Like everything comes full circle.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? But
that's like my wife here recently. She's been making these little crosses, not toothpicks, popsicle sticks. Yeah, putting them together, and then twisting the yarn around and making little handmade things, and then she'll attach a bag to them, and it'll have like the plan of salvation, but it'll be like a bracelet that's got all different colors that shows it, and then a piece of candy. And dude, she's like a machine. When she gets to knitting or whatever she does with her hands, dude, she'll have a box of them things, and I'm like sitting over there like, dude. Okay, And she's like, I really like doing this, and she's like, if I can use it to be a witness, then maybe somebody else. And I'm like, hey, if God be for you, who can be against you? I said, I'm proud of you. I was like, that ain't my thing, but you are a machine. I'll tell you.
If I started that, I'd have 3 done, and I've had the whole closet opened up with finding something else to do.
She loves working with her hands, like crafting stuff. You get
Alexa
her
with the painting, same way. Is that what she likes to do?
I saw that she does it. She's super good at it.
Pretty good at it. Like I don't know how she does it,
Yeah.
but she does that in like the painting boards, and that's kind of her thing.
Here pretty soon, I was thinking about that. I think that'd be a good idea to get our wives on here. I mean, they're kind of what allow us
I'm
to
dreading
do that.
it, but I'm kind of like, we need to do it.
Oh, dude, that'd be sweet. I mean, you guys, like, I'm sure you guys listen to all the hunting podcasts, but the Meat Eater, like the Trivia Meat Eater Trivia podcast, they do like that the women's week or whatever. They'll have them set up the trivia and do. I love listening to that episode every year because it's so funny. Because it's like, they grow up or they're around their husbands. They're probably learning all kinds of hunting lingo and whatnot. You don't realize that they're. My wife she picks up on a lot of stuff that, like, as far as me talking about hunting that she's never been around or whatever, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we do this, do that," and I'm like, oh dang, she was listening to me.
Or you get to understand what they see through their eyes.
And
what I think, like you said, I was this and this back in sports, and you see footage like, man, I wasn't so good.
Yeah.
Me with hunting, I think I'm a badass, or I do all this stuff, and she's like, no, you're not. No, you're really not.
Oh, my wife's a better shot than I am.
Alexa's a good shot if she'll shoot.
Yeah.
I can't hardly get her to do it. She says because I get too serious with it.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to critique her form and stuff, or try not to get her target panic, or punching the trigger. I'm like, if I can break it now, you won't have that issue if you ever do get into it. Because once you get that, man, target panic sucks.
Yeah.
I still somewhat deal with it.
Yeah.
I've been to the point of like can't even get on the target. I just fling through and punch a trigger, and it's been a continuous struggle. Heard something, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I've been target panic stricken before.
Yeah,
and it's
tough.
like it's hard to break that sucker. But then again, it's a mind training game. Like, and you got to do some creative, weird stuff to get out of it. Like,
I'm gonna try to segment on that after turkey season, get kind of into the 3D realm, and start going through setups and kind of, if anybody has any questions, kind of like what I've had done to get through things.
Yeah,
it may not be the right way, but this is what's kind of worked for me, and I'm a decent shot, and I'm dang sure passionate about it. But
I remember with one of my things that I did is I'd sit like from here to that wall right there,
blind bell,
and just close my eyes and draw back, and just shoot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd do it like 100 of times, just not even caring where I'm hitting, just shooting, and feeling my trigger and stuff like that. So and that way that becomes a natural feeling.
Let's work on how you release your release or whatever. I've got a thing over there from John Dudley. I keep one with me in the loader.
That wooden.
Yeah, and I'll sit there all day long with my hinge release, and if I'm waiting on trucks, I'll pick out a spot, and just worry about the execution, or I'll close my eyes and just shoot, because especially not shooting as much as I want to, I pick a bow up and it's like, dang, I may have like 5 good shots, or I may have 20 that's all shaky, and you get out of that rhythm, and a lot of it's shot repetition is what it is to get good.
Yeah, I definitely
for
don't
sure.
shoot as much as I should.
No, I want to.
I did
need
a
to.
little. I did a little bit of that though. I switched from an index to a thumb button.
Yep, that's what I shoot.
And it took a while. I really did because I was just wanting to punch that thumb
Yep.
button really bad.
Yep.
And target panic and everything was just kind of all adding up to a terrible recipe. I kind of got to the point where I switched over pretty late in the year. It was like getting closer to bow season. I was like, this was a terrible decision. And then I kind of, something started to click a little bit. My anchors started to get a little bit more solid.
Yeah.
I figured out where I needed to be and honestly, like that I didn't need to just know that, hey, my pin's going to be right there and then let's pull the trigger, right?
Yeah,
I need
just
to be
trust yourself.
My mind muscle connection to the point of like, the way I learned it was like, when you go to open a door, you don't think about like, oh, I need to wait till the perfect opportunity to get my hand right on that knob. Like you kind of just mentally just do it, right?
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
And
yeah.
so I say I may be butchering that analogy. I don't know.
I get it.
But yeah, like, I mean, I know my pin's going to be on that target somewhere. I don't really care if it needs to be dead center. It's going to be bouncing around that, right? So as soon as I find that, I started to find that rhythm of where I was dropping back, and I was like, okay, I'm not just boom and then look and peek and doing everything wrong, right?
Yeah.
And it started to click a little bit, and I don't, by no means am I a good shot. I get lucky a lot of times, but that thumb button has kind of disciplined me a little bit more.
Look, a confident shot is a more lethal shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you're worrying about almost to the point of like, man, I don't want a deer to come in, and I've been there because like then I have to try to pull a shot out of a hat, you know, and now I feel pretty confident that if I draw back, I'm gonna put the arrow where my pin was last at. You know, whether the deer does its thing or whatever, like I'm pretty confident in my shot.
Yeah.
Now, some days it's not as much, but for the majority of the time, like I can kind of go through what I just know and just let my body and mind do the work, and you know, become fairly successful.
That's
I still
what
have
got me.
misses, but
That's what got me into 3D was, and you'll really learning how to shoot my bow. Was the first deer I ever shot at with a bow was like a 140-inch 10-pointer. Put a bad shot on him, and so like I mean that just stuck with me, and I'm like, man. I was like, I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to be the best shot I can be. Because, I mean, like, things are going to happen. You're going to still screw up.
Yeah.
But if I can eliminate the human error a little bit more, you know, and that, man, I do miss that. We used to have fun. When is that bow shoot?
Next Saturday. I'm planning on going.
Where's this at now?
At
which one?
Trinity? No, not Trinity. What's the big church?
Highway Baptist?
No, the big church in the bluff down by Mizell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Palace Praise.
Maybe?
Yeah, the one that.
I think it's there.
It is Palace Praise.
I think it's there. They're doing a fish fry, turkey shoot.
That's next
turkey
Saturday,
shoot.
right?
Yeah, I think it's next Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to go to that.
I'm going to try to go. I've got like a birthday party to be at and some other stuff. I'm like, I really want to go shoot my bow. So I'm going to try to, like,
Isn't
after
that
this
like a
week,
men's conference, though, that they're putting on
I think
there?
they're doing something like that.
Yeah. I think that Highway Baptist Church does the same thing off
Really?
67 North, close to Greenville there.
Okay.
They do one. I think maybe in the middle of summer, but I know that they do kind of like a men's, bow shoot and stuff like that. I need to do more of those. I think it'd be fun. Just competitive.
I was kind of getting into some 3D before I went to Texas, and I come back and fuel prices are so high, and everything's a few hours away to shoot. Man, I can't just go spend $100 on fuel and food to go shoot and not win anything. You know, even like I'm not first place, it's not like I'm getting money. You know? And that's not what it's about. But I got to make it feasible. I'm like, well, I've got a yard, I've got targets, I've got buddies. You know, I'm wanting to do a bow shoot. Actually, I was wanting to do a bow shoot the weekend after youth season, but that may be.
You ought to go up here to the lake and just shoot, right?
Yeah, and I've utilized that too. That's what we talked about that with Eric.
Yeah.
I've utilized that a lot.
That is a sweet range.
I've gotten quite a few targets now, and I can set it up here and do a shoot.
That's cool.
You know, there's a range out on. You ever been to the one on NN Highway out in Ripley County?
Is that where the Indian Creek was?
I don't know if Indian Creek.
NN across from the bow shop?
No, NN, that's in Butler County. That's the archery range.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But then you go like take 21 and NN off of 21 right down by Donovan.
You were talking about that. No, I haven't been to that
I mean,
one.
it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, just government all around
Yeah.
you. And then all of a sudden you pull up and there's a little parking lot. And I don't think a whole lot of people do anything with it nowadays. But, I mean, it's a real nice facility.
Really?
That's always been kind of a dream of mine is to get a shoot started
I'd
back
love
up
to.
that way.
I would
Like,
love to.
Yeah, we don't. I'll be honest. Like we do get a few. Like when we first started and opened that archery range, we got a few kind of like amateur shoots a little bit. But I was kind of was kind of bummed to see that we haven't had like more outreach on some of those.
I've thought about. I didn't know if I was allowed to.
Yeah, we can do so. Like, if you're going to do like a thing, I know we talk about my job a little bit more than whatever, but you can do special use permits, so you can get a permit and you can get signed up for something like that. I'm sure there'd be, depending on how many people plan on showing up, it'd be different kind of permit or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, we encourage people to kind of come out and use our facilities for stuff like that. So if there's going to be an event, it's more visitation to the lake. It's a benefit for both parties, right?
Well,
so,
I've been asked before about doing a scholarship for Greenville with
that'd be
some
awesome.
outdoor stuff. I'm like, and hosting a bow shoot, and to where most of the proceeds are going towards that, and just cover some experience. Like, I would absolutely love
that'd be
to
cool.
do that.
You just you hit me up, because I mean, honestly, I'm kind of the guy that does the permit stuff. So,
okay,
yeah.
no, that's good to know, because it's definitely been on my mind and heart to do. I've wanted to do a mentorship program with trying to get somebody into archery and try to lead them in the right direction with that, and just try to get rid of some of the bad habits right off the bat. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I want to have my own bow shop. May not ever happen, because just the way everybody's doing direct to consumer, it's hard for a shop to make it if you can't get your major bows, and if you're not just completely like the money towards the time you put into it is never going to come out on top.
I know.
But if I could ever get to where, like, if I get with real estate and making decent money with that, where I could have the time and say, a few hours a day, come to the shop and we'll work on something, I would love to do that.
Yeah, that'd be.
I like building arrows. Cool. I like working on stuff for people, and I get a lot of people that come to me and ask for what little bit of advice I do have.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. It's I'm just passionate about it. It's what I love to do.
You geek out on it, right?
I absolutely do.
I try to a degree. I have my own arrow saw. I've got my own fletching tool and all that, but I still am like, am I doing this right? Do I need to be sitting? It'd be things. I'll be honest. When it comes to sharpening broadheads, I'm the world's worst. I don't know why. I've got a jig for it and everything. Yeah. I cannot freaking. I don't know what it is.
I do better with handheld sharpening,
dude. Like, I get a burr on a single bevel, and for some reason I'm like, all right, here we go, and I'm like, I'm gonna knock this burr off. I'm gonna strop it and everything. I'm gonna get it really good, and I'm like, what? It's not that good. Like, it's not all that sharp.
I was like that too.
And I'm like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I go back and watch a video, or I'll do this, and I'll ask somebody. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I just need to take it somewhere and get it sharpened.
Yeah, I bought one of them Stay Sharp systems. It's got the lever arm and ball on it. And since I've got that, I've kind of went away from the single bevels and went towards more of like the bleeder blades and stuff, and I'm shooting fixed blades. And now I've got the tooth of the arrow. It's a 4-blade, but I did buy their jig where you set it in a slot and you work it like that. But still, half the time I find myself just hand sharpening them. I've got the little handheld Stay Sharp deal, and it's got like a coarser grit, a finer grit, and it's got a leather straw.
Yeah, I have that.
And dude, like that's what I run through all my mechanicals, all my fixed blades. I sharpen. Anybody that's with me, I'm like, you've been shooting your broadheads? Like, yeah. Like, you think they're sharp? She's like, yeah. I've only shot them in target like 10 times. I'm like, let me see it real quick. So at least let me knock the edge off, and because like I just want whatever it touches to cut.
Yeah.
I want it to cut. And
sometimes I'm like, if I get it cutting hair, I'm good, right? Which, I mean, to a degree, I feel like that's probably better.
Cutting hair's pretty dang close.
Yeah,
and if you can grab your thumbnail,
and it catches
a little bit, like you're doing better, because even when they come out like razor sharp right out of the package, dude, I've got Beast broadheads, which are known for the sharpest mechanical in the world, and they're not as sharp as I want them. They're not as sharp as the ones that I've hand sharpened. And I'm not real good at it. Like, sometimes I mess up and I take the wrong angle on it, and I got to put a Sharpie on it and redo it. But I just want them to be as sharp as possible. That way, if you aren't shooting a 520 grain setup with 20% FOC, you can still get through the shoulder blade, because you're cutting everything going through it.
Right.
I've had arrows, literally, this deer here, I was shooting a Rage. When I've been shooting the targets nonstop, it hit his shoulder and bounced out. At 48 yards, perfect, right behind like the backside of the shoulder, and it bounced out. And I ended up shooting them during rifle season. But it was at that point that was my last straw.
Yeah.
Of like, no more.
Yeah.
I went to fixed blades. I went to started shooting or sharpening them with heavier arrows, and I went down to deep rabbit hole, and I went back. Now I shoot like mid 400s. And just work on tuning my bow and making sure it's sharp. And I've had pretty good success with it.
That's cool. Yeah, that was my thing too. I was always a Schwacker guy. Like,
I've shot Schwackers.
And don't get me wrong, like, honestly, for the most part, they treated me good. And I think part of it was just making decent shots, double lung of deer, whatever. But I had a few mishaps, and I was like, and then I also saw some evidence where I'm like, this is not, I was watching, Ranch Fairy and doing the Ed Ashby whole,
Yep.
and I was deep diving in that.
I
and,
was too.
And I kind of like, I kind of treated it like this is the gospel to a degree.
I did for a while.
And
for
then
like 2 years.
I kind of
yeah.
watched some of these other guys like Elk Shape and different things,
Yeah.
and they were kind of had put a different spin on it.
And
you
he's
know?
shooting a 27-inch draw. He's a little guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric, even himself, like he didn't fully buy into the single bevel game. Like he was kind of a hybrid setup. I mean, he still shot mechanicals for a while and lighter setup to a degree. I mean, we're not going out here shooting bull elk, or nothing.
Right.
But if you got the capability to punch through a bull elk, you should be able to punch through a whitetail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I want 2 holes.
right, yeah, exactly. And it was the analogy of like it's kind of like what do they say? Kind of like throwing a baseball with a tail. Like right,
Yeah.
you got a lot of momentum and energy kinetic energy behind
if
that
you want to
baseball.
hit a baseball or wiffle ball, which one's going to cause more damage?
Exactly.
A baseball. But like sometimes it is overkill.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
It can be. And finding that middle ground, and it just takes, for me, was just testing and shooting animals.
Experiment.
And, I don't want to go too light to where all of a sudden, boom, I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Got to up it back up again. But I found that 450 range with 29.5-inch draw, 80 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm shooting a 50 grain titanium insert with a 125 head.
Yep.
Extreme velocity victory arrows. I do shoot a lighted knock. I shoot a AAE.
Is it the hybrid?
It's
the
one
Max.
I have Max Stealth, and I've got another one that's a shield cut. And I've just been successful with it. I've shot big bucks with it.
Yeah.
I've shot things at short distance, long distance.
Yeah.
Long for me, like 35, 40 yards.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Me too. Yeah.
I try not to shoot much farther if I don't have to. Like literally like 50 yards max, and it's got to be that deer doesn't know I'm there.
Yeah. So I shoot Easton 5.0s with a 50 grain collar 50 grain insert. I guess it has a collar on the outside.
Half
of it.
in,
yeah,
half out.
Yeah. And then I shoot a 150 grain head.
Okay.
So
I've got a lot of 150 hits.
Yeah, so it's pretty heavy, right? But
Yeah.
and then I shoot tack drivers, the
Yep.
2 3/4 inch.
Yep, I got some of those over there too.
They're all right. You can't put much of a helical on them. All right,
Yeah.
at least I can't.
I've got to where I don't run as much of a helical. I
Yeah.
run a 1 to 2 degree offset.
Yeah.
Because to
Do
me,
you
like
three vein or 4 vein?
three veins.
See, I do four
do.
fletch, and I don't know if I really like it all that much more. It
tried
creates
4
more
fletch.
drag,
It does.
but it also steers I feel like it steers my
And if
setup
you're shooting a big single bevel 150,
Yeah.
and you may need because especially if it's not a tall vein, the 4 does help.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on your broadhead setup.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
I feel like I've gotten them shooting pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was pretty confident. It was the first arrows I've actually ever
Right.
built myself, and I got them going, and I was like, you know what? Like, this actually does pretty good. I feel
Yeah.
pretty confident when I'm shooting right now versus just going to the store. I was the kid when I was doing this. Like, I would just go to the store pre-fletched veins,
Yep.
like get everything going. Like, I didn't even cut my arrows
I had
down.
all different
like,
6
lengths.
inches.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting there, everything's
Yeah.
like flapping
Yep.
through the wind.
And,
It was
like
bad.
that's when like you put a muzzy on it, does this. You're like, well, the old factor, my bow just won't shoot certain things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your bow's out of whack and your arrows are all out of whack.
Well-
Like you're not testing, you're not putting the work in before you bring your arrow down range is the issue. I didn't know.
Yeah, or I'll sit there and I'll shoot and I'll hit where I'm shooting. I'm like, awesome. But then you sit there and you look at your arrow and it's going like this in
Yeah.
the target.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
ticking like that.
Yeah, and you're like, if I hit a rib or something, like that might not go through it very well.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of energy.
Oh,
man.
yeah, for sure.
And that's like we were talking about like the helical with a single bevel. Like you're probably helical whichever your bevel's hitting. So that for me, like that arrow spinning in the air, and say I'm shooting just a 2-blade or a 4-blade, whatever. Well, if it's spinning fast and it's hitting, the energy is going to be lost with a twist.
Yeah,
and
the
if
twist,
that broad isn't made to twist through the animal like a single bevel, you're losing a lot of penetration,
Oh, sure.
especially on a mechanical, where you're already losing your impact, whether it's a 0.2 pound impact to release or whatever.
Yeah.
That thing's sitting there spinning, and it hits, and it's got to put that energy somewhere into going through that animal instead of spinning around it. So I like to put just enough spin on it to stabilize it.
Yeah.
I went down to the big helical range, and that thing just, zzz,
Yeah.
and you hear it coming from a mile away. I've stood down range, and this is like zooming literally.
Yeah.
And I've got to the point of like, I think deer are
Hearing it.
they're hearing it
Yeah.
long before they have that initial click. I think they're hearing it, and when that sound catches them, I think they're catching the glimpses of it. And it's they're in a study right now. I think with Easton again.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a really extensive arrow study and like tip configuration and fletching configuration and knot configuration, and that's great because they're getting down to the nitty gritty, like scientific.
Yeah.
This is what works.
Yeah,
know?
me and Eric actually kind of deep dived on that a little bit one day. He was showing it to me, and I was like, "This is very interesting." Because I mean, you can pretty much they did like every setup
Everything.
possible, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, there's my tack
What
drivers."
they call Twizzlers or grown up arrows,
Yeah.
whatever you want
Yeah.
to shoot, all in between.
Yeah, it's like there's my tech drivers. Okay, it's like shows how much like it shows how much drag they had, show how much noise or whatever they put off, and there was a bunch of different things in that study. But yeah, I like I said, I don't claim to know very much as far. I mean, sometimes it gets way over my head to the point
Yeah,
where I'm
sometimes you see go shoot.
yeah, because
sometimes it's
I
negotiable.
feel like I'm kind of the guy that's like, I want my setup dialed, but I want it dialed, and don't want to mess with it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For at least for the season,
I say
right?
that,
You know?
and then I'm always tinkering.
Yeah, me too. I kind of screw myself when I do
Yep,
that too.
always tinkering.
Yeah.
But
You ever seen that setup where you take? Well, I don't even know what they call it, but they.
20, 30.
Well, no, like they're fletchings.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be offset all the way down the
Yeah.
shaft to where there's like 4 fletchings, but they're all spiraled around.
I've seen
it.
that. Yeah, I've seen.
I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
even tried
it's
that. I was
kinda like-
that looks a little bit just
Yeah.
like too much for me.
Well, then also you got to think about, a lot of times a fletching will catch up on an animal. It's a dull object hitting
Oh, yeah.
hitting a dull surface, and that could cause you to, especially if you're shooting like a hard quartering and you need to get, you wanting to get through, and say you're shooting an elevated, you put it quarter and 2 at top of the shoulder, you're already hitting some bone, slowing it down. The last thing you want is a lot of vein stopping,
Catching,
and then you're causing a lot of damage inside the animal. But if you one lunged it and you don't realize that thing may go 400 yards.
Yeah, or it breaks half the arrow off, and that vein or whatever's plugging that
Yeah.
hole, and you're not getting much blood coming out. I mean,
Yeah.
eventually it might come out, and eventually you might start getting a blood trail. But like you said, if you're not somebody that's willing to go very far looking, or
Yeah.
you're like, oh, there ain't no blood here, and it's like, I must not, made a very, it's like that deer could be dead. You just, could be having a
And
plugged
the
up hole.
same point that with fletching going through, it's also pulling and grabbing and cutting things if
Yeah.
it is getting through. So you don't want a too rigid of a vein. You don't want a target vein,
Yeah.
but you don't want one that's sitting there flapping around in the wind, being not steering your point or
Right.
just making a lot of noise. Like you want a semi-quiet setup. You want a semi-decent speed setup, and just finding that middle ground. And it kind of depends. Everybody's different with their draw length and
Yep.
their weight, and certain bows with your speed and whatever broadhead you're shooting. Luckily they're doing a lot of
It's about time for bed, I
Yeah.
think.
What's up, sissy? Just use the ritual to come in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, buddy.
I'm
Night,
like,
night.
Night,
Night,
night.
sissy. Love you.
She's like,
let me kiss you on the nose.
Okay.
oh, there you go.
Oh, nose
Let
kiss.
me get that booger off your lip.
Ew.
Love you guys. Love you, sissy.
She's like, I don't think I'm ready to go, Dad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're about done here too.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Night, night.
Yeah, but they're doing enough research now. Like, it's no longer having to read and film and stream magazine of some elaborate story that was probably paid by a hoaxing style
Yeah.
sponsorship. There's legit
Oh, yeah.
so much technology.
I believe
know.
I look like for the, I mean, Easton could go out and be like, oh, well, if you just shoot Easton stuff.
Yeah, but they don't do that.
No,
They're-
exactly.
They're with everything, and I appreciate the fact that they're doing that.
Yeah,
and
and that's
they're
why-
not biased.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, I got their 5.0s. Eric,
Dude,
again.
it's a great arrow.
Yeah, Eric steered me to him, and I'm like, I actually like this. I think I'm going to do this. Again, it was my first ever build on an arrow, and it's definitely not perfect. I'm sure I could tweak it up a little bit. It's somewhere around the neighborhood of like a little over 500 grains or whatever, and it shoots great for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I shoot a Bear Adapt. It's a budget bow.
They're good. They're good
yeah,
bows.
yeah. And I got the first edition whenever it first came out, like literally like a couple weeks after it dropped, and I bought that. I mean, I've looked at other bows. I've shot other bows. I've shot Matthews lifts. I've shot, the Hoyts. And I really do. I think I could probably upgrade and then get something a little bit shooting a little faster. But I feel like I'm just kind of getting into the groove of my bow. I feel like I like my bow. I
Yeah.
kind of want to just give it a little bit more time. I know they're not getting any cheaper.
No.
That's probably
No, they're not.
one of the reasons why I'm kind of like holding off on it. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just kind of getting into my bow. I want to get some more kills under it, and then maybe I'll think about upgrading and doing
Yeah,
something
man,
different.
like I said, just Journey Unknown podcast. Everybody has their own journey.
Yeah, sure.
for
you know.
sure.
Yeah, actually, so I shot a buck on a managed hunt a couple years ago with that same setup, and it just kind of goes to show the whole, single bevel, the heavy setup. It worked in my favor because I had a buck coming in. I grunted him up and shot him straight on, like in the brisket.
Right.
I mean, it was a decently close shot, 20 yards or so or whatever, but a complete pass through. I mean, and when I saw that sucker kick up, I mean, it just looked like just somebody threw a bucket of paint. I mean, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah, no doubt about it, they work. That setup works. It
Yeah.
does.
But like I said, sometimes you shoot them and it just goes straight through them, and then they stand there for a second and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah,
and
they
they
don't know
don't
they're
bleed
hit.
very much. It's weird. It's just, but usually it gets a job done. So
Yeah.
going back into setup, I know we talked about this a little bit. I'm not trying to make this prolonged any more than it has to be, but you were talking about saddle setups, and I do want to kind of cover
The
my one stick.
one stick, man, that is different. I don't meet a lot of guys.
Yeah,
that
that
have
is
done that.
interesting. To me.
Yeah, so it was a learning curve at first, but it's really nice. And I say that I feel like sometimes I lean more towards like, well, if I had a hybrid setup, a couple, some sticks and like hang on platform and with my saddle,
Running some aiders on them.
Yeah.
I run aiders on my bottom too.
Yeah, so what I got is a Eastern Woodsman Outdoors. It's the ultimate one stick. The dimensions on it are probably pretty close to your platform size here. It's a
You don't want them too big. You got to climb over that.
Yeah, no joke. It's got a slight lean to it in the
Yeah,
front.
that helps your feet from falling asleep.
Yeah,
big time.
absolutely. And but it's got a cam cleat with a
My favorite setup.
cam cleat with a, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say?
Am steel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Am steel. And then it's got like a pack. It's called like a pack and play aider system, a 3-step aider system.
Fold down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sweet.
it rolls up and I can just like buckle it,
Yep.
and then I can just unroll it and
Yep.
go. So I set the first stick. I'll set my stick up about eye level,
Right, yeah.
or maybe a little lower, just where I can get my first step in there. And I can, like I said, I can set it about 6 foot up or so, get it tied in. I put my lineman's belt around the tree, climb up, stand on my stick, and then I'll tether myself in with a ascending rope.
Yep.
And then I'll hang off the side of the tree, just kind of put my knees in the tree, take that one off, put it back up, hook it up. I got my aider right here. I can slip my feet in, and I'll put my lineman's belt out. Now, sometimes I probably don't do the safest things, but I just try to be quick,
either.
But anyway, I do that process pretty much all the way up. I can get up in the tree where I need to be, 15, 18, 20 feet in 3 moves, you know. And it takes me. Now, when I first started doing it, it took me forever. And usually at the first set of the season, it takes me a little longer.
Yep.
But I can do it now. I mean, I can get up the tree in like 5 minutes, maybe.
That is-
And it's pretty crazy. And then the fun part about it is too, whenever you descend down the tree, because I got a Mad Rock Safeguard.
Okay, that'd be nicer.
Yeah.
I'm running the Ropeman.
Oh yeah, the
I
ropeman
can't do it. I've
Yeah.
tried. He's like, whoop.
Oh yeah,
It scares the death out of
Yeah,
me.
I wish I had a ropeman for some things, like
The lineman's
the
Lineman's
lineman's
belt,
belt's
yeah,
nice.
that's
The
nice.
tether, yeah.
I wish I still have the
Prusik
Prusik knot.
yeah.
And it's actually
They
on
make
mine.
some tabs now that are really sweet. Where
Yeah,
you can
I
just
know.
one hand Prusik it up
Yeah.
and just pull the tab, and you can. The harder you pinch it,
Yeah.
you can go your speed, kind of like rappelling.
Yeah. I actually I can't remember. I got something rigged up to where it's pretty much like it's got essentially a piece of paracord and a loop, and I just got my slack rope on my lineman's in it, and it'll catch on that that Prusik,
yep.
and I can just pull it like that.
Yeah, I've seen that. I want to try that.
Yeah, it works pretty flawless if
Yeah.
you have a pretty nice knot to work with.
Yeah,
Sometimes
like one on this one here. This is a soft rope. Mm-hmm. You can hook that paracord up here, and it catches.
Yep.
Basically catches on this.
Yeah.
And you pull yourself up, and then you just pinch and release. Like it's pretty slick.
Yeah, I run the tethered grit workhorse saddle.
Yep.
I just got that one this past
Is that
fall.
their new?
It's newer.
It's new. It's a THP one, right?
Well, yeah, THP does run it.
Okay.
They do run it.
Now they got the workhorse.
yeah,
Is that right?
Well, yeah, that's. I think that's what this one is the workhorse.
Okay.
But the grit.
It's got the pouches built into it.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's why
yep,
I wanted
yep.
it, because
Right.
I was sick and tired of running
Those
additional
get
pouches.
annoying.
Yeah, they get in the way. I had these exact same ones off Amazon.
Yep.
And I would catch on crap.
Yep.
And those ones are a little bit more sleek.
Can you see how I have my platform set? That little metal clip there.
Yeah.
But dude, that thing constantly will come off or get stuck because that's a magnet system. I'm getting hung on things, but
Yeah.
I don't want it hanging down too low to where my platform's kicking me in the back of the shins. But I also don't want it so high, especially when we run a backpack and all my camera gear, and then I get in the wintertime, it's hard to maneuver around to get the platform up and not have it clinging off stuff. Luckily, these are fairly quiet,
Yeah.
but it still make a little bit of noise. I put a little bit of stealth tape on them. Try to
Yeah,
help that, but
with everything I got, it doesn't weigh hardly nothing, really, to be honest with you. Which I run a frame pack because I don't know when I'm going to pack out a deer or not.
that's smart. I want one.
It's a cheapo and it works. It does good for me. I have trash bags when I put my deer in and I throw it in there.
Yeah.
I packed out a few deer and sometimes I'm like, why did I ever do this? But then sometimes I'm like, I would have never drug a deer up this hill. So I'm glad I had it.
Right.
But I have that on my back, or I'll have it at the base of the tree actually, and I'll hook my mainline rope to it, and then I'll just pull it up and I'll just hang it. I got my
There you go.
the whole setup. I've got it worked down to about a science at this point, and I don't know if that'll change. The only thing I think I like more is a little bit more platform room. Sometimes I wish I had a seat to sit on too. So if I had a hang on, I think it would work great.
They're innovating so many things with that hybrid saddle stand setup.
I'm excited to try that
you're
saddle
gonna
out
like
next
it.
year because
I think you're gonna
I don't think I would like it for like sitting all day sits
Yeah.
It can be
because like
cumbered.
my back I've got like sitting in a seat. all
Yeah.
day.
These are uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I think like early season, going in there for an evening hunt, slipping into a river bottom or something.
Yeah.
like
Oh, dude.
that, boy, this would be.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're wearing it. I'm
Yeah.
wearing it in. Sometimes I roll up my saddle and put it in my frame pack, and I'll walk in with everything else.
Sometimes I do,
Yeah,
too.
but a lot of times I'll just wear it
Just
walking
wear
in.
it.
Yep.
And
I'll put a little purse on my shoulder and have
yeah.
it on my strung across me, and then
yeah, man, I'm excited to get onto this deer season. 'Cause
I'm ready.
I got a couple hunts in mind, at least one for sure. We're gonna put in for a managed hunt, and then also we're gonna go up north and hunt. My dad and them went last year. I didn't get to go. Kind of just had some stuff going on, so then I was like, I'll stay back. I was like, you guys try it out, tell me how it is. I had some pins set for him. I actually went up there and scouted for him because I wanted to see it myself.
Yeah.
It's I got a buddy up there and he kind of gave me a few pointers. And dude,
Is it public?
Yeah, it's public.
Yeah.
And they saw tons of deer. Now, I don't know that they ever seen anything monstrous, but they seen at least more deer than that they did down here as far as in one sit.
Yeah.
So it was pretty, it was enough confidence for me. Like, yeah, I'm going to go. this
We
year.
need to go back up there north.
I know.
sometime.
I
Even
love
if it's
it up
just
there.
for like a weekend.
Yeah.
I don't care how many people are up there. It's still a
It's
special
pressure,
place.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
do we
That's
want to break the bearer of good news?
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.
Yeah. This ain't our last podcast.
No, this is April 1st. and-
Yeah. Well, April Fools.
Yeah, I'm probably terrible at pulling any kind of joke, but yeah, we're just getting started, man. And, I'm enjoying it. I don't know where it's
What
going to go.
is this podcast? You said 20?
This is number 20.
Hey,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. Milestone.
I
This'll be
enjoyed this
out.
one. I mean, everyone I enjoy, man. It's
Yeah.
just like a heart-lifting kind of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't. I
No.
kind of ramble. I go
I do.
crazy.
I do.
So hopefully
It's-
it was good enough for the viewers and you guys to listen to and not just want to.
I enjoyed it.
Hit the wall.
I could talk about this all night. And
Yeah.
what are we in? We're right at 2 hours. This
Yeah.
seems to be the time where it kind of works. Now, once I get more comfortable chairs, we can be in here for 4 hours. But
Oh yeah.
I'm on the lookout. If anybody finds any stools that are decent for not too expensive, I need to get some stools in here.
Need to do
Eventually,
like
we're
a-
going to retire our very pristine,
table.
amazing table.
Yeah.
We're going to have something a little better set up. But
You
we're
get
making it work.
It works,
Yeah.
man.
Sure.
We're making it work.
Yeah, it's good to get around, good God-fearing men and just
Oh, yeah.
100%.
talk about outdoors and stuff that we like to do. And
Yep.
I mean, it's a good thing to air out and just kind of, make you feel like you're not the only one that goes through some problems
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
We've all got something going on.
Yeah, man. Get away from these screens. Let me tell you, they're it's a cancer.
It
It's getting bad.
It is.
And it's getting to our youth and me included. I mean, I'm a young guy, but I grew up in a world where I kind of feel like I was on the cusp of some of that technology stuff, but
Yeah.
but I'm old enough to know it's like, yeah, that's just not good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care.
I wish
how
I didn't have to be
helpful
on
is.
it at all, but like to grow this, I had to kind of have to be.
Oh yeah, I think if you're not, you're going to be behind. But
Way
I think
behind.
you need to be aware.
Yeah, I've got to learn that freaking AI stuff, man. That's the
Man.
that's the new thing, and it sucks because
It's not genuine.
it's not genuine,
No.
and I try not to let it completely do anything that I do.
No, but it
Yeah.
is helpful to it.
It
too,
is
to
very
I'll tell you
helpful.
what's crazy is that Chat GPT, like I got on there. So like my labs that
Yeah.
I've been, my blood work and
Yeah.
stuff like that for my TRT,
Mm-hmm.
I just uploaded them on there and I said, what do I need to do? Dude, that sucker broke it down by a little,
yeah.
Yeah, years. Well, a lifetime of knowledge you can get in an instant.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, and then like I've heard, I was talking to somebody at work, but apparently, like, they went to a class where they're talking about, like, they have inspectors and stuff for job sites nowadays can, like, roll up on a job site, take a picture of a job site, and then say, is there anything unsafe? And they said there's an app, and they did that, and, like, it picked out that a guy was not wearing steel-toe shoes.
Oh, Lord.
It picked out that there was a piece of scaffolding missing in, like, a 500-foot scaffolding that a human eye might not be able to pick out. It's
right.
like, man, that's scary. Like,
It could cost a lot of people jobs, whether intentional or unintentional. It's kind of scary. I mean, it's good.
it is good,
But it's like, hey, you also have to understand that we're humans.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want it to overcome human interaction and human craftsmanship.
You know what's crazy too that is scary is like you can take somebody's face off the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And you can AI it and to make it look like they're
what is
sitting on your
real?
lap or something.
What is
like,
real?
Yeah.
There's nothing I believe anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
and you can get people in trouble like that.
Oh,
like
I
you know,
know.
like take a girl's face.
I was
put it
telling
in
guys
a-
at work the other day, you done that during bow season. I'm like, Swilly? It looked
Who's
like
that?
somebody was there.
Yeah,
and
me-
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how, but it's like everything you see online, like we talking Hannah Harper earlier. Everything you read, 1 minute Hannah Harper signed a multi-million-dollar record deal. Next minute they died in a car crash, and people are on there so gullible. I'm like, dude, like you
I
don't.
know my mom asked me the other day. She's like, I read something on there about Hannah Harper. Like she's like talking about like she's like letting on some secrets because they're on to her and this and that. And I was like, I don't know. I said I wouldn't believe it. I said, I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's
I
kinda,
said I think I'd seen Jelly Roll. Thing about Jelly Roll not too long ago
Yeah.
about something like that.
Yeah, you can't, the whole saying, like, you don't believe everything you see on the
Credibility.
internet. But I do believe now it's to a point where it's like, yeah, you really just don't need to believe everything you
No.
see until you start seeing from some credible sources.
Yeah,
like
you
you said.
definitely got to fact check stuff. And there's got to be something you be able to run through and say, well, what part of this is AI, or like music you hear, people you see, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so realistic.
I think
now.
AI is like it's like a gun. It's going to be handy for when
The
it's in the
person
right
that
hand.
uses- yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for diagnosing cancer,
Yeah.
and like screening
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
for health issues
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
safety,
To
like
have
you just
some-
mentioned.
Yeah, it could
It's
save
got
somebody's
its-
life like
Got its
that.
perks.
But then again, you can also get, like I said, get somebody divorced real
Oh
quick. you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, we like to joke around and stuff, and I figured it out. Obviously, I'm a younger guy. I kind of grew up in that a little bit in that realm, I guess. But my dad, I've like, oh, he loves it because he's like, I'll play a little prank, to our hunting buddies, and then my wife's like you said, you're gonna get somebody in trouble. You're gonna do this. I'm like, you're right. I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't do that.
Well, not too long ago, I seen on the news that somebody was making like AI porn.
oh,
and
yeah,
it's
no,
like,
that's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
dang, yeah, that makes me like
Yeah.
not even want to play around with that.
No,
'cause I don't
yeah.
want to like take somebody's face and like,
Yeah, or like the child or
Yeah,
trafficking and stuff. It's
yeah.
like, dude, it's just scary what the average person could do with technology.
and what the human
it's
mind.
great. Also, what you can do with technology. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
man, if people just had their mindset right, it'd be a little different.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's a human
that's a
condition.
whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it really is. That's a
Yeah.
big topic to discuss. but-
Yep.
Anyway,
Maybe
well,
next time I'll come up here and I'll bring you guys some danishes and different things my wife
Yeah.
does.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've got a
I
sweet
like
tooth.
that.
Yeah, she's
I got a sweet tooth.
she's got that. It's Tis So Sweet Bakeries and
Tis
Okay.
So Sweet Bakery.
Yeah.
Is it on Facebook and
Yeah, it's
stuff?
on Facebook,
Yeah,
so
I haven't
you
seen
can
it
check
on
it out.
Facebook.
So
Heck yeah.
I know she'll enjoy it. She'll appreciate me plugging it. I'm
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
for a shameless plug, but
Yeah.
she'll appreciate it. So
Hey,
That's good. I hope that works out.
Yeah, me
and
too.
grows and food truck or something like that.
Yeah,
comes down the line.
yeah.
That'd be sweet.
yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
So kidding.
Well, guys, as usual, I should plug this in at the beginning. I just always forget to, but it's food plot season. It's time. It's here. We were researching. Was that me and you the other day talking about food? No, it was me and Trevor. And I was going on Whitetail Greens, their website, and a lot of stuff is like March to July is a lot of good times to start putting plots in, and you know about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah. A little
if you,
bit.
yeah, it's kind of like your job or something. But if you guys are looking into getting food plots done, or any questions, or getting supplies, hit up Whitetail Greens out of Greenville. If you're able to supplement feed and you want to supplement feed, always go towards my favorite Antler Edge out of Lehigh, Oklahoma. That with the bile rack and their Lucky Dust and all that stuff. If you're allowed to do it, just please do things legally. Not everywhere is allowed with CWD or what have you. But if you can and you want to, definitely hit them up. They've got good stuff. They've helped me with my last year's buck in the past. He had no other reason of sticking around if that wasn't here. With that, if you're in the woods, you want to be camouflaged and be comfortable, look good, feel good. Vodka Camouflage out of Arkansas. They hit us up last year. We partnered with them. I love their stuff. I'm not having any of it on, but it looks cool. It's functional. It's breathable. I've enjoyed it. So yeah, that's about that. You know, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem,
Episode
man.
20. We are
Yeah.
here for the long haul. Thanks you guys for watching. If you're listening, please like, subscribe, tell somebody about it. You know, we want to grow. We want to help. We want to have somebody on. If you guys know somebody that would be good for coming on the podcast, hit us up. You know,
Yeah.
we're not stingy. We'll talk about anything and everything. And they don't have to be with us or for us. They can be against us, but we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
you know?
even just give your honest opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know,
Open ears.
I got thick enough skin to take
This
it,
is a
so.
Journey Unknown podcast.
It's a
Ain't
journey
no-
unknown. Yeah, make your own path.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. And
Yes.
as the end of it always goes, go fling some arrows.
And stay wild.
Stay wild. Thanks, guys.
We'll see y'all.